What you doing? What you doing?
A baby. Baby.
We're starting the episode with that. I don't even
baby.
care. We're starting even if you aren't ready. This is it. We're starting. We're in.
This is the show.
Hello and welcome to the Mythos Mystery Society presents Whiskers. It's a Wesker day. Going about in a Wesker way. We got whiskers on our face and paws on our feet. Time to eat meat. You feed your cat meat, right? All the meat you don't eat, you feed your cat. Right? That works. That's I mean, the meat's got to go somewhere, and we're all legally obligated that we have to buy it.
So much meat.
Anyway, this is the Mythos Mystery Society, brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies, it's no Weskers.
It certainly is no Weskers.
With that, we're playing Cyberpunk 2020, which we were playing in real time for a while, but now it's 2024.
No, we're playing Sprawl.
Technically playing the Sprawl, but the world we're in is Cyberpunk 2020. And with that, we'll go around and introduce ourselves and the characters, and then we'll start the game. So I'll throw it over to Maria first.
Hello. Oh my God, it's me. Wow. Hi, hello. My name's Maria. I use they, she pronouns. I can be found on the internet at Happy Capster. And today, my God, we're returning with Zed Baptic, who probably had an accent that I'm going to try to remember, because it's been a while. Zed uses she, her pronouns, and if she didn't before, now she does, because people change.
The funniest part is it's only been 2 weeks since Mad Kells, but it's been 2 years since Mad Kells.
That's the wildest thing, actually.
I want to say they were they, she, if Maybe? You wanted to go with that, but whatever you feel like going with. Yeah.
I don't
but yeah,
we're going to go with the way it is. And in this new and improved Sprawl, Zed is using the reporter playbook. Don't look at the last episode. It's fine. Everything's great.
Hey, if you watch the last episode, you shut the fuck up.
Shush. That's me. I'll pass it to Ty.
Ty, use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Kells Woodward, who also uses he, him pronouns. In the old game, in Cyberpunk, he was a nomad. Now he is the driver in Sprawl. And I will pass it to Micah.
I'm James. I use he, him pronouns. I'll be playing Micah, who is the tech and also uses he, him pronouns. This is one of those, I feel like this is more like a reboot than a sequel. So just like Dave said, shut up, I guess. Because a lot has changed on my sheet too.
This is the Netflix adaptation of what our Cyberpunk story was.
Do you guys remember Serenity? It's pretty much Serenity to Firefly, where it's like it went on hiatus for a while because it got canceled by the network, and then they made a movie to finish it. That's pretty much what this is.
That's what we're doing.
And then maybe it gets picked up for more sequels. I don't know. It's been 20 years.
Made for TV movie is what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I'll pass that on to Jason.
Thanks. I'm Jason. I play Jason. That hasn't changed. Nothing's changed. We're both he, him, and we're both hacker man in the net. We're in folks. We got it.
We got it.
We did
in the
it.
nut.
He's already got your bank account. Jesus.
And
he's already got your Facebook.
And I've spent it on cat toys. For Weskers.
Who's Weskers playing as? Weskers will be taking the place of Kip tonight.
Weskers is going to be the pusher who has that cult that follows him or whatever.
Oh, perfect. I am the #1 fan of Weskers, and if there's no more people on Earth, then I'm the only. It's the meme. Never mind. Weskers fan for life. Me.
Weskers support. Yo. Okay, so with that, it is now early February 2022. It has been a couple weeks since the battles at OTEC Ocean platforms. The news is now more than willing to call this what it is, which is the fourth corporate war. Although people think they're overreacting, the last corporate wars had a lot more of the public wrapped into it. This one, so far, has been relegated solely to OTEC and CINO. But what would the news stations be without a little glamour on a horrifying world event? You haven't heard from Casper or OTEC in the intervening weeks. They must be busy. As far as developments that have happened while some of you were away, we had a scenario called Mad Kells that took place within 2 days of Chapter 2's ending. In that chapter, the only truly known thing that happened was Gunnar Wallstead, the hippie from Nautilus Base that used to be part of Rainbow's Edge, has moved into Beacon's apartments. Speaking of Beacon, there was a steady OTEC development being done on the place before the events of last chapter that have seemingly paused. So you have a half-finished helicopter pad on your roof, as well as some half-finished defenses. A castle under construction. With that, it's been about 2 weeks since you've defended Nautilus Base. I guess you can let me know what you've been up to in that 2 weeks, because it's been a decently quiet. Like, you haven't really been bugged by OTEC, you haven't been bugged by Casper. So it's been kind of all still after this, big battle that happened and weird thing that happened to the people you've allied with. You can kind of go over why you have any improvements that you have on your characters. It's only been 2 weeks. It feels like a lot longer, but it's only been about 2 weeks.
You could really convince me that it's been 2 years, honestly, but that's just the way that it is.
But yeah, whoever would like to go. If anything, right now it's about noon here in beautiful downtown Los Hombre. The morning smog hasn't quite cleared up yet.
I'll go. I think Micah has spent the last couple of weeks. So if I recall correctly, we did a job for a corporation, essentially, guarding the platform, and it got attacked, and there were explosions. We blew up some ships. I feel like some torpedoes were shot around.
Yeah, so essentially, if you want a really quick recap of the war up to this point, you were all charged by OTEC to defend Nautilus Base basically under threat by OTEC that they'd buy out your apartment and get rid of you all if you didn't.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, and Casper's kind of the go-between for that, and he's kind of pushing for you instead of the corporation just taking everything from you all, so he's on your side. Okay. But essentially what happened in the previous chapter was you all went through ocean warfare training, essentially. Mm-hmm. And then after the ocean warfare training, you were sent to defend Nautilus Base. Nautilus Base got attacked by CINO's Kraken team, and you managed to defend it. However, when that was happening, CINO also attacked every other ocean base that OTEC was defending. And Westguards! Sorry, he was playing with the damn sword again. But sword. You just love the sharp thing. But basically, OTEC suffered a massive defeat at the hands of CINO because CINO took out pretty much all their other bases. You don't know what happened to some of your friends that you were with. Also, notably, Zed, you haven't seen Lux since you got back from the Mad Kells incident.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened? I can kind of refresh you if you need.
Between me and Lux?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. So Lux.
Don't worry.
Lux's apartment seems to be cleaned out. So she's just not around anymore. You're not entirely sure what happened. She does this sometimes, so that's not like she'll take all of her stuff with her if she's going to be on a longer what's it called? What did Cyberpunk call her class? Solo. If she's on a solo mission for a really long time, sometimes she'll kind of take all of her stuff with her and move over there. So it's not completely out of the ordinary that her stuff is gone. However, the timing of it is suspicious, and the length of time is disheartening. Let's put it that way. But that's as far as the Beacon Apartments goes. That's the only other thing that's kind of notable.
In the last one, didn't Zed have a link with an otter or something?
Yeah, you also have an otter. I
do. I have an otter named Alf.
A robo otter?
No, it's just a regular otter.
Is it?
It just also had a harness where I have on here a note.
It technically is a robot because a real otter. Yeah, but it's just so AI and lifelike that you don't.
It's a real
there's no real otters anymore. They're all dead.
Can you recap the Mad Kells incident? All I remember was punching a guy on top of a train or something.
It was awesome. Have you ever seen Mad Max? There's pretty much that.
Okay, great.
So as far as what I can relay to you all as a this is kind of a good just recap of a game that's been going on for 2 years that took a 2-year hiatus. What happened in Mad Kells was Jason wasn't there, so I guess if you want to hold your ears for a second,
I mean, we could have just told Jason.
Yeah, well, there's
what
one part of
happened.
it that maybe you didn't, but I'll tell you the rest anyway.
Okay, well,
essentially-
Jason the person can know it, and Jason doesn't have to.
Yeah, Jason, shut
doesn't
your head.
know a lot of things, nor
Yeah.
does
Or he might not even care. But essentially, Kel's got a call that his girlfriend was kidnapped. Or what was it that? It was something along the lines of your nomad clan had. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Half of Kel's nomad clan was kidnapped by a different nomad clan, and the only way to get them back was to steal this high-profile truck shipment that was going down the I-80 or 880. You did that, and what you found inside was surprising. That's the thing you might not have told Jason, but you delivered that thing to the rival nomad clan with a trap inside of it, and you got your friends back, and then the thing, you heard it explode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what that surprising thing was, because I have something to tell you for anybody who's visually looking. These are the only notes I wrote from that one session. One of which being Casper sent us a boy, which is not,
It's
not
Gunner!
helpful, actually.
But yeah, as far as what the thing was, it was an OTEC submarine, like a special edition submarine that OTEC, who is the people you're working for, wanted. They were having it delivered somewhere, and you aren't entirely sure why. So you essentially accidentally sabotaged your own side. But you got your people back.
Okay.
So all that to say, Micah has a family that, like I believe a son and a girlfriend that live in the apartment. And now that, I'm sorry, OTEC is the one we're working for?
Yes, OTEC is the one you're working for. CINO is the bad guys.
OTEC has set their sights on the apartment, is more or less using us, and we're kind of trying to find a balance of power there. Very nervous about things just eventually going completely sideways. So Micah has spent the last couple of weeks finishing up a drone that he affectionately calls Backup. It is a large tracked drone with the rugged and armed strengths and the obvious and loud weaknesses. So that'll come up, maybe. That's pretty much it. He's devoted an inordinate amount of time to getting this thing up and running, because it feels like his one kind of trump card that nobody really knows about or is expecting.
And then didn't you say that was the tank that's hanging in your garage? Or
Hanging no longer.
Yeah, so it's just like pretty much a drone tank now?
Yes.
Awesome.
It has a missile launcher as its weapon.
Oh my god. So does it still look like it's inoperable and then it springs to life if it needs to, or is it like kind of sitting somewhere kind of obviously now?
I think so he has the garage set up as like a mechanics bay. So I think it's still like it's somewhat suspended so that he can kind of get down under it and work on it. But its appearance is definitely more of like makeshift. Like, he didn't buy fancy armor plates. He just kind of welded scrap armor on it. So it doesn't necessarily look like it's in pieces, or...
It ain't fancy, but it'll do.
Yeah, it looks like a Mad Max vehicle sort of deal.
It's what you picked up from the Nomads.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that sounds good. So that's there to defend your girlfriend and son, is what I'm gathering.
Yes. Hopefully from a safe distance.
Yeah.
With the rocket, the missile part. But
Whoops.
I think we did establish he has a safe room in his apartment too.
He does. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
So at that point, it doesn't matter where the missile lands, really.
Yeah. Well, you do like the apartment. I hope.
Yeah, but that's why it's called the backup.
Makes sense. Alrighty, who would like to go next?
Mine could probably go. It'll be real simple. Just been on the net, following the news and the reports of everything. Looking up anything that might have happened during and after Mad Kill, since he wasn't there. Just keeping tabs. Occasionally going for night dumpster dives with Rick. Looking for just home decor, some extra food. Maybe just wander around, splash around in some ponds. Sometimes Rick splashes too. It depends. But yeah, that's about it. Just doing his own thing.
Alrighty, yeah, I would say you've definitely been keeping up with the Fourth Corporate War, if that's the process. And it also makes sense considering your backstory involves that you and your NetSpace buddies fought in the Third Corporate War, so you're probably extremely nervous about a fourth one starting, but so far, it looks like it's definitely being blown out of proportion based on all of your seeing, because it's like the Third Corporate War affected neighborhoods, whole places were bombed and innocent people died. This one's literally just two corporations just kind of hating each other, and there's battles between them. People are dying, but they're not civilians, and towns aren't being destroyed, and the city isn't on fire or anything. So yeah, I get there. But I want to say that the things that you noticed that stood out to you, if that's what you're going to do, let's maybe have you roll for it. Let's see. Do you have some sort of crazy skill that involves getting information? Otherwise, we'll just have you do a generic
skills.
Yeah.
I have stuff about being consoled in, about programming, about when I'm jacked in. I can manipulate and lock down and defend, so that's kind of...
I would say... research is one. I want to say research seems right. Do you want to roll for research? It's mind.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what? Oh.
So at the top of your character sheet, there's a die there.
Yeah, it just asked me to type in forward value.
Oh, some things will give a +1 forward if it basically gives you a +1 or a -1 or something like that.
Yeah, you don't have one for this.
I have a +1 to research, so I do forward 1.
No, it'll automatically count. It's an extra bonus that some other moves that other people can do or things that enemies do to you might affect you.
Yeah. So I would say 0. Type in 0 if it asks you that for now. What you got? You got a 10. A 10 is 10 plus.
Nice.
Take intel. The MC will answer your questions and answer a follow-up question from this list as well. Do you see the list, by the way? It's on the move sheet that's on Discord. If you scroll up just a little bit, I can get rid of this custom weapon thing too, just to make it less muddy in here. Yeah, I guess go ahead. Take intel. The MC will answer your question. This is one that you kind of wanted. Oh, you get a follow-up question. Okay, so you get a normal question, and then I guess you get to get one from the list as well. So, is there anything specifically you'd like to know, or I could just tell you something you've discovered?
Yeah, so the question is from that list.
Yeah. Oh, both questions? Answer your question and answer a follow-up question from this list.
Ask a question from the list below.
Oh, yeah, I see.
You ask a follow-up question, so you get to ask 2 questions.
You get 2 questions, big boy! Oh, big boy.
That's tough. So it's been a bit, so my brain's trying to remember everything.
No worries.
So wait, we're against CINO, right?
Yes, CINO are your bad guys. Arasaka is hired by CINO if you want to know Arasaka stuff as well.
I guess first is right now, how secure is CINO?
How secure is CINO? Oh, that's an interesting question. So what you found out in the intervening 2 weeks is CINO is actually kind of depleted at the moment. They put everything into that big rush to take on OTEC, and now it looks kind of like both of them are against the ropes. CINO, you figured that out because you're a net runner and you kind of looked into it more. So that is not an obvious thing. Probably OTEC knows this, probably you know this, and then probably netrunners that are really adamant about figuring out this information know this, but the media doesn't know it. Anybody you haven't told doesn't know it, so probably nobody else in the apartment would know that information yet. But so that's kind of like they're feeling weak, but they're not showing it, and you know that they have a weakness right now.
Okay. And then I know some of these answers already. That's why it's hard prior to playing.
I mean, if you already know it, I'll just be like, you can ask another one. You can go ahead and ask it if you want.
Well, I mean, I know who employed CINO.
Well, if you want to ask who owned or employed CINO, I could give you an interesting answer for that.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that one.
Okay, so something that you found out that's very interesting is who is owned or employed by CINO. Something that you were kind of looking into, just like you're checking in on just everybody that you know from OTEC Ocean training and stuff like that. Because you make good friends with the Netrunner teacher there, and you kind of liked everybody that you met and everything. You had that heart-to-heart in the bar with Zed, so you kind of learned to open up a little bit at the OTEC training. So you're like, oh, I kind of want to know if everybody's safe and how everybody's doing, because they suffered a major loss and had a bunch of casualties. So what you learned is internally, there's something fishy going on, and it turns out Frank Hiraga, who was the head of ocean training at OTEC, was hired by CINO and sold out OTEC. There you go. I want to say that's probably good for now.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. Who would like to go? Or unless if you had anything else to add to your 2 weeks of what happened after the OTEC incident.
I hacked and found out Rick's last name.
Yeah.
I know it. Don't tell anybody, because I really want that to be the way the campaign ends. I really want to do hey, who are you? Ray Skywalker. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, who would like to go next?
I can go. After the Mad Kells thing, Kells has pretty much been either in his room or in Micah's garage, just kind of working on projects, but he's been pretty much keeping to himself and not talking to many people.
Have you been keeping in touch with your nomads?
He sends letters, but not he hasn't gone back or anything.
Now, could you refresh me what your nomad clan was and what the bad guys were? Because it's all Goofy Movie and Brink stuff, and I can't remember what it was.
What?
I think yours was just the Brink.
Mine is the Brink. Yeah, my nomad clan was the Brink. I don't know what the other clan was. I think you named them. I didn't name them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I might have. Yeah, and I want to say it was from Brink, and it was the rival gang from Brink.
Oh.
I probably have it in my notes.
This may be the one thing I took a note about.
Hey.
Because I remember that I drew a pair of roller skates.
The Gammas. I figured it out. I had it written down.
Okay.
The Gammas.
The Gammas, yep. Goofy Movie. Yeah, extremely Goofy Movie. Yeah, I have that too.
From an extremely
So proud of you.
Oh boy. So you write them notes or letters occasionally?
Yeah, I write the clan letter. I've written 2 letters to the clan since then.
To Lila or Scratch or anyone in specific?
1 to Lila and 1 to Scratch.
Nice. Scratch rules.
Yeah.
All right. And so you're just a solitary.
Yeah.
Kind of keeping it together.
Yeah.
Probably appreciative that you don't have to fucking fight a war the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and just kind of working on stuff.
Alrighty. And then Zed, let's go to you. If you got one.
All right. Over the last couple of weeks, let's see. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since the Nautilus base, which means that I was doing stuff with Kells, obviously, with that whole thing. But after coming back, I think a lot of what I think there was a little bit of overlap between what Zed was doing some like digging and research for and what JSON was, because I specifically wrote down mole/informant for CINO ? Based on the Nautilus stuff. But Zed wants to tap into their contacts as much as possible to look into, I think, 3 general things. 1 general thing and 2 more specific things. The general thing is the movements of both CINO and OTEC, because Zed is now kind of paranoid about everybody. General information regarding where Lux might be, maybe a bit. And then if there's been any more, the continual research of trying to figure out where their parents are. Just a brief catch up. Zed's parents have been missing for a really long time, and they've spent their entire adult life trying to find them.
They're not about to find them in this chapter.
Dang!
I forgot about. No, I don't know. Maybe we'll do something with that. Okay, so would you like to roll for research then? Just to see what you could find? Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that mind.
Okay. Oh, hang on. At the start of a mission, I get to roll edge. I have a move called Nose for a Story, and then depending on how I roll, I get holds that I can use to invoke one of the following effects that have to do with it. Basically about gathering evidence and such. So when the mission starts, let me know. I know this is like background, kind of like setting up stuff, but
I think it'll be pretty obvious when the mission starts.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure I can remember that and be like, it's gonna happen.
This is gonna do something. Okay. I roll this die. Da-da-ba-boo. I got a 12.
That's big.
Ha ya ha ha.
Same thing that Jason got. What would you like to ask?
Da-da-bum. Okay. So I get intel. I'm gonna just put that in here. Intel is an expendable resource, by the way. I
Yeah, you get holds
resource.
with it, right? Holds are just, you get like a... what do holds do again? They just make it so you get a +1 die on something, or...
Sometimes. So you can spend a hold to do different things. So in this instance, players can spend either intel or gear, which is kind of just nebulous. You have intel and you have gear. That's not specific. To retroactively narrate that professionalism and planning when it becomes relevant. So the planning of doing something in like an investigation or planning phase, the doing legwork
gotcha.
kind of thing, we can spend it to kind of retroactively have the intel we need or the gear that we need.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, so we don't like have to specifically know a piece of information. We have an intel, and we can just fill in the blank when we get to that space. Which
that makes sense. Cool. I think I was thinking of forward. Forward just gives you an extra dice, right? Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, forward gives you a +1 to things. Okay, so I would
What is the relationship between Lux and me?
Okay.
Sobbing into phone.
Yeah. All right. I want to know the true relationship between, let me get the name right, between Casper and OTEC, for one.
Aha, okay, so this is easy. Casper technically works for Militech. Militech is being contracted out by OTEC. So Casper is a private military. Casper runs Rockwell PMC, which is kind of like Militech, like just kind of sends feelers out and sees what kind of freelancers they can get to help fill in the ranks for any specific purposes. Usually it's not a thing that they do. Militech has enough staff that it could usually do the things that it usually needs to do. However, this is a fourth corporate war. This is not a usual situation. That's why Militech goes and hires all these outsourcers to kind of fill their ranks a bit more. So Casper runs Rockwell PMC, and he's kind of being, and that's being hired out by Militech. And that means that technically his higher-ups are OTEC, and he's kind of trying to be this like buffer between getting you guys jobs and keeping your apartment yours, and trying to keep OTEC away from just buying up the entire neighborhood.
Okay.
Whiskers.
There's no way that cat heard you. There's no way.
It looked like it. It really did.
No
It
way.
sensed you.
Okay.
Was that specific enough to your question?
I think so. I think the I don't know if my question was necessarily super answerable as like the personal relationship motivation between Casper and OTEC, because the Zed's impetus for doing all this research is people are trying to sell us out from the inside. That's I think what their motivation was for trying to, because we knew that I forgot. Zed knows.
Yeah, really what it comes
that kind
down
of, like,
to is OTEC is his boss. In the grand scheme of things, right now OTEC is his boss. Technically it's Militech via OTEC, but it's it's tech all the way down. But yeah, no, it's literally nothing more than this is a gig. It keeps Rockwell PMC afloat.
Right. Okay. My second question then is
Can I get a quick clarification on that?
Sure.
So,
what's up?
Rockwell PNC is Casper's company. Is that part of Militech, or only in this instance Militech hired Rockwell?
Militech hired out Rockwell.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so
it's not a branch of Militech specifically.
No, Rockwell PMC has worked with Arasaka in the past. They've worked with others. They've done freelance work on their own for security purposes and stuff like that. They don't really, they get kind of hired out. They're a private military corporation, so.
Cool.
so Rockwell PNC was contracted by Militech, who was works for OTEC. There's too many.
Yep.
Militech is under
our
OTEC.
corporation's
Militech is
great.
under the.
Yeah.
No, I
so
hate it.
Militech is a military corporation, essentially. So they do whatever. Like, same thing that Rockwell PMC does. They're just bigger about it.
Right. But what's Militech's relation to OTEC? Is
OTEC hired them to do this. To fight this war for him, essentially.
So OTEC hired Militech, and Militech contracted the Casper's company.
Yes. Nailed it.
All right.
Corporations!
Yay, bureaucracy!
That's exactly what it is. This is the equivalent of when I used to work for Self-Aware Games, which was owned by Big Fish, and Big Fish was owned by Aristocrat. That's literally like the exact same tunnel downwards. Also,
Good,
I just made a note of myself.
I just made what the great part about this, you can just cut that all out. Okay, so the TLDR that I wrote out is OTEC is essentially Casper's boss right now. That's the TLDR.
In the grand scheme of things, OTEC is Casper's boss via a middleman.
And you said Arasaka is essentially doing the same thing for CINO as
exactly, yeah. Except you don't you don't know what's deeper than Arasaka.
We don't know the actual super.
The only thing you would know that's technically deeper than Arasaka is your friend Suki Chaos was hired by Arasaka at one point to do stuff to you guys. Remember that? That was chapter 2
Yes.
when we hired Jason on as the team. That was like
That was-
80 years ago.
That was 84 years ago.
But yeah, it's kind of the same general idea as what happened there. That's
Okay.
why Suki was in an Arasaka hotel.
Okay.
I think my gardeners are here.
Okay. Given everything we've established, and everything that has led up to this point, with all the explosions of everything, who is Beacon Apartment most valuable to now?
Is this more like a follow-up question, or is this a brand new question?
This is my second question.
If the person it's most valuable to right
Yeah.
now would be, that's actually a great question.
Thank you.
Considering
I
what's
thought really
happened
hard.
right now,
Considering everything that has, yeah, because we know at the very beginning we were trying to get kicked out because of OTEC shenanigans.
yeah.
But
The corporation that it's the most important to at this moment is OTEC, and the reason is because your apartment is currently retrofitted with a lot of OTEC equipment.
Okay.
Because they retrofitted your stuff to be defended because they didn't want CINO taking
CINO
it.
wanted
CINO
our apartment.
CINO, it used to be
CINO wanted us
yeah,
dead and out. Yeah.
CINO seemingly
Understand.
gave up on that, but now OTEC is kind of
That's right. I remember
Yeah.
CINO invading at some point.
yeah. CINO originally approached you with a deal in the prologue of this, and you guys were
Yeah.
like, "Fuck off! I hate you." And then he went fine, and then he sent a bunch of assassins to kill you all, and you won, much to their chagrin.
Yeah, you threw a safe on somebody.
Yeah, that was unrelated.
No, that was an
It was during
It was
the
a
same time.
refrigerator, and it was a fixer gig that you did before this whole thing
It was a
happened.
No,
generator,
it was-
wasn't it? Like a
That's what it
like a
was.
diesel
A thing
generator.
Something
Yeah.
too big was thrown on somebody who was not
Yes.
strong enough to handle.
Yeah,
it.
that
Okay,
was
great.
you threw it on Mikey, and Mikey was just some guy that wanted to set himself up nice so that he could get away before the Fourth Corporate War happened, and
Well,
you
he-
fucking killed him. For
No,
it.
he trapped us in something.
He
That-
fucked over Moth, and Moth was going to get in a lot of trouble. So you were trying to help Moth out.
Yeah, and then Moth didn't get in any trouble because they died.
Yeah,
But
they got
he-
killed.
He did one of those wait right here.
You're living in
things.
this room.
I think he did one of those wait right here things, and then like started running as his buddies came in and started shooting
Yeah.
at us.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it wasn't unprovoked.
No. His
Yeah.
morals were it's just his actions weren't. Alrighty. Is that good? Is that all you needed?
Those are my questions.
Those are your
We've done it.
questions.
We've done it, everyone.
Alrighty, so what is everyone doing right now then? It sounds like Jason, are you just on the net right now, just kind of looking around?
No, I'm actually sharing a nice garbage lunch with Rick.
Okay, so you're jacked out. Are you, so I want to say it's early enough that the taco guy's probably around. Do you guys hear my gardeners? They're right
Yes, we do.
outside mine.
Yes, we do.
You guys hear my, sorry, let me just turn off my chainsaw really quick. No, it's fine. But yeah, okay, so I want to say the taco guy's around if you want to just be in the alleyway while taco guy is serving people at Beacon. You notice lately there's a lot less people at Beacon. More and more people have moved out. But there is a weird influx of people still living there, like Gunner lives there now, and stuff like that. But yeah, there's less people. Taco Guy's a little saddened because some of his regulars don't live there anymore. So, but he's still there. What's everyone else doing?
The dryer is out again, so once again, Micah is sitting there, pantsless, just in his boxers, with his jeans draped over a cable that's holding up the tank and has a hair dryer, and is reading a book in the other hand.
Awesome.
Just hanging out, trying to hope today's another boring day.
Yeah, we could all hope. This scenario is just another boring day. Nothing happens. Kills and Zed.
Zed is also headed out to the front to get some tacos. Jason, did you say if you were getting tacos or you were dumpster diving for food?
Probably both.
Probably
Looking for
both.
any
Great.
scraps of tacos that people didn't eat.
Excellent. Zed is gonna buy 4 tacos and give Jason 2 tacos because this is. We can't retrain the man until we show him what food looks like.
I take one. I thank you. I'm like, oh, thanks. And then I take one taco. I open it flat, and funnel it all into my mouth, and then give the shell to Rick.
Rick takes the shell, and then you see him waddle into the apartment, somehow opens the front door to the apartment and goes inside. I guess he's gonna go give it to Kip. Kels, what are you doing?
It's just taco time. It's Taco Tuesday, y'all.
Everyone's just completely silent. He just okay.
Kels will also go for tacos.
For tacos.
Yeah.
Do you pass Rick on the way?
Yeah. I pass Rick and give him a little nod. Nods back.
He nods back. You see him waddle up the stairs. You hear Judd working on something. He's like, "Oh, hey, Rick, how's it going?"
Oh, Judd.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting an answer. It's fine. And then you hear somebody scream as a chainsaw goes off. Yeah, with that, I want to say, Zed, you get a text on your agent, and your heads-up display or whatever, and it just says, "Need to talk, discuss, catch up. How's 3 p.m. sound? Casper," who signs his text. And you'll note, notably, there's no emojis in this one. He's always been a kind of a big emoji guy, and there's none in this one. This is also the first time, again, you've heard from him in 2 weeks, since a major incident happened.
Yeah. This, I think, sparks a little bit of a wariness. And is there any way? No, I think that Zed will see that.
Can I roll Humint on an email?
Yeah, right. And I think with Kels and Jason there, it's just kind of cock their head slightly and just, Casper just sent a text. Is that what we're doing these days?
I guess message.
Yeah, I just got a message from Casper that seems weird, and I'll just send it to the two of you in whatever fashion happens to be appropriate to you.
We'll call it something sci-fi and fictional, like a tweet.
Fiction, yeah.
I'm just chewing the taco, mouthful, what? Why is it weird?
Well, compared to how they usually look, and I'll just hold up a past message that has just about 17 too many ghosts emojis. It's a little strange, don't you think?
Oh, maybe his keyboard's broken.
This is funny because it's all in your brain. His brain's broken.
Listen, there's not above that.
I think at this point, Micah comes out to get his tacos and join the group. His pants are still a little bit wet, so he's walking a little bit funny. But he orders a couple of tacos and kind of joins up the circle.
I'll fill Micah in and send the message. I'll let him know that we're fine to meet, but I feel like it's a little odd, right?
I mean, I feel like we're pretty deep in bed with Rockwell and OTEC and this whole thing. I mean, I don't think he's going to take no. So.
Oh,
in the background, Rick comes out the front door, waddles down to the taco guy, quacks at the taco guy. The taco guy reaches down, grabs 2 things of hot sauce, and hands it to Rick. Rick nods and goes back inside.
I'm more concerned that it might not be Casper who's messaging us.
Can I trace the message where it came from?
Sure, let's do a roll for that. There's something crazy you can do, I'm sure. Let's say...
I have assess.
Assess sounds right. Yeah, that's edge roll. Edge me, daddy.
Oh no, please God, no, please.
Look at that. I got an 11.
An 11, you say? What does that mean? 11, assess. You got a 10 plus. You gain 3 hold when you closely study a person's situation, or when you quickly size it to roll edge. You just get 3 hold?
So there's a list of things that you can use those hold during a scenario, and this could be a situation where that would be applicable. I think typically assess is used in like spur of the moment things, such as I think it could apply just based on
I think
how
it
you
works here.
interpret the
Yeah.
questions.
Essentially, you see that list of questions underneath there. You can ask, you can spend a hold to ask one, and then if you follow up on that with a roll, then you get a +1, like you get a forward for doing it. I don't know if this is something
you have 3 points to spend essentially whenever you choose to.
How about this?
You can spend them all right now, or you can spend them.
I will give you the 3 hold, and I'll just answer your question, and then you can use that 3 hold later, because that seems a bit more better to do it for. As far as tracing where this came from, yes, it did come from Casper.
Okay. Well, I mean, it looks clean. Came from him. Oh, not like somebody else did it.
All right. I will reply then. Sounds good. And will uncharacteristically include a thumbs up emoji.
He just responds, "Thanks, see you then."
Huh. It just feels weird.
Do you
something
want to
happened?
bring him a taco?
I think he's coming here.
Wow.
Well, okay. You said here at 3 p.m. It's only noon.
Yeah. It would be cold by then.
Hi, Weskers.
Baby.
He wants to be in the show.
Weskers. You could be at this show, Weskers.
I buy Weskers a taco.
I want to say there's a neighborhood cat that you sometimes buy. It's like, I mean, you lived in this neighborhood, in the actual neighborhood, homeless, so you probably made friend with a couple of strays and stuff. Although,
There's a lot.
cats are around. There's cats around. Yeah, it's ocean life that gets kind of fucked because yeah, we didn't treat those too well in this or in real life, to be honest. But yes, you have a few hours before Casper's arrival. You can do stuff if you want to, or I can skip ahead to that, but depends on what you want to do.
I don't have anything in particular other than no, I would ask Jason at some point between now and then. You think he can maybe see where Casper actually is?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do some. What was that? Research? Yeah.
Just to make sure that, you know.
Yeah, I'll say research is fine for that if you want to roll. Got a 4.
Hey, good news about rolling bad. It gives you experience.
Yeah, you got less than 6. MC will answer your question and make a move?
Make a move.
What does make a move mean? Just like do
No
something?
moves.
Dave, that's 90% of what this game is that you do.
What is that? What does it do?
Dave!
Do I have a list of moves? Maybe I do. Maybe it's in the
Generally
book.
speaking, it is page 173 goes into it.
Okay, I'll do that. So yeah, you don't get a beat on his location. It's like you actually run into some resistance. You said once. Here we go. I'll
yeah,
figure out a
you
move
get
in a
experience.
sec. You do.
Which is great. And once you get
So-
10 of those, you get to level up, which is great.
Here we go. I will say. Oh. Okay. I will say, Casper just texts you, Jason. Please don't. No.
I'll send him emoji since it sounds like he likes them, and it's just like the smiling poop emoji.
He does not respond. It just makes it so much worse. And that's it.
Oh boy.
I'll let Zed know, like, yeah, he knows that look.
Okay. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's nothing.
And then I'll send Zed a smiling poop emoji.
I just send that one face that's just two straight lines for eyeballs and one straight line for a mouth.
Alrighty. With that, I could cut to 3 p.m. Would you like that, or? Okay, that's fine. At 3 p.m., Casper rolls up in his Kawasaki Akira Cyberbike. He's wearing a black leather jacket and a red helmet. Underneath, he's wearing a red sports business suit, which is different than his usual black one that he wears. As in, it looks like a business suit, but it is flexible enough to run around and do active things in. It's a stark contrast from his usual black suit and with red accents. He takes off his helmet and presses a subdermal button on his temple that extends mirror shades he usually wears onto his face. For a moment, you finally get a glimpse at his eyes, a nice silver iris with white pupils. But yeah, where did you want to meet him? Like, or were you just going to meet, like, should he ring the doorbell, or are you waiting for him outside?
Probably just, I don't know. I wouldn't wait for him outside. I mean, do we have like a common area in this apartment, or is it all just
Probably like a stairwell at least.
Yeah, there's like the front room kind of area on the first floor when you first walk in. Probably has enough room to have a meeting in. Either that or one of your guys' rooms is probably fine.
Or just like an unoccupied room that maybe.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch
like
of people. There's
communal.
a bunch of not lived in spaces in this apartment.
I suggest Lux's room.
Oh yeah, because it's like right next to the door.
It is. Is that okay, Zed? That's fine.
My room is fine. I'm very normal about this.
I think Micah's probably the one that has like the front door camera feed most of the time. So as soon as the doorbell rings, he'll just ping everyone else.
I want to say he's like fixing his jacket and just kind of like standing there looking down, waiting for. He presses like he takes a moment to realize he hasn't pressed a button to ring the doorbell, and he finds the one labeled Zed Baptic and presses it because it's one of those, you got to get keyed in kind of things. So he rings Zed's thing, and he's standing there like this, hands behind his back, and Zed, then you just get a text that says, "Hey, I'm here," like because it's all in your head. So
yeah,
like, he doesn't have to like.
Yeah, I'll let him in and send a message to say go to this specific room, and then I'll ping everybody else and say he's here. ... I'll head down.
Alrighty. I guess he gets there first because it's the room right next to the entrance. So he's already waiting for y'all when you get in there. And he's looking out the window while you're like not shifty or anything. Like he's just like standing by the window, like just kind of appreciating the view because it sees out to the street and stuff. He like kind of gives a deep sigh and he's like, "Oh hey everybody, howdy, hello, how are you? Greetings."
I'll walk in and like wave at him and go straight to the fridge to see if Lux left any food behind.
No.
Hi, Casper.
It's been a minute, a while. How are you all holding up after working with Nautilus Base?
Oh, about the same, just a little more nervous.
Yeah, have you been keeping up with the news? The info? The beat?
Yeah. It's
Sure.
interesting.
Well, the one thing they're not telling you on the news is things have gotten a little desperate with this. I guess they're calling it a corporate war, but I don't know. I was in the last one. But the situation is OTEC and CINO are escalating the situation, and OTEC essentially wants revenge. I don't want to sugarcoat or hide or, make anything unobvious for you, but the problem is that OTEC wants us to help with one last job that will hopefully end the war early, before it can really become a fourth corporate war. And the situation becomes worse, bad, egregious when it turns out not only is Rockwell PMC in danger of being bought out by OTEC so that they can accomplish these goals, but OTEC also wants to buy out Beacon Apartments and liquidate it and move everyone out if they were to do so, if we don't help with this job. So I know it's a lot to ask, but I would appreciate it if you would take me up on an offer where we do this one last thing for OTEC and then they're out of our hair. The deal has already been struck up that way. The contract is made, created, formed this way, that if we do this one last thing, we no longer have to worry about these military corporations owning our lives. You get to have Beacon Apartments, OTEC gets out of your hair, they take all their equipment and leave, and the war hopefully stops and we all get to go back to a normal life. And just to sweeten the deal, he kind of claps his silver hands together and he goes, I will also be joining you on the front lines of this one. I appreciate, love, and, like you guys. I always have to think of 3 adjectives and it gets hard sometimes to shut up. And I don't want something pure like Beacon Apartments falling into the hands of a corporation. And I feel like I got you into this mess and I want to be the one to help you get out of it. You don't have to say yes right now. You don't have to say no right now. But that's the situation. I wanted to come here in person instead of telling you via text. It's not great. It's bad. It's awful. But I think this might be the best route for all of us to go forward and live our lives normally again, if we can get away with this.
Well, can you tell us more about the job first?
I can. I believe the thing is we can take you to a facility that could go into more detail about this, but from what I've gathered, heard, interpreted, was we're going to make a big push on CINO's largest base of operations and take that out, and doing so would cripple their entire operation into bankruptcy.
Who's we in this? The 5 of us?
No, the remaining groups that you worked with at OTEC's Ocean Warfare facility. So not OTEC corporate. It's the guys that you personally worked with before. So like Team 11, your teachers in the Ocean Warfare Academy and everything like that. Anybody who's left to rally. There's enough of us that we are confident that if we pushed real hard, we can shove them right out.
a military base? Like
It's
armed
that is something that we would have to hear from the briefing over at OTEC, but so I don't have all the details, but I have the broad gist of it. They did say they are going to be supplying equipment, so that's good. Things that you're familiar with, I hear. A mech suit and submarines, things of that nature. I think you'll be. He winks at Zed. I believe you'll be reunited with your old friend Alf.
There's a small smile from Zed hearing that.
Yeah.
I think the thing that concerns me is your assertion that we won't be under the thumb of big corporations after this, because I don't know how in the world someone can ever say that's the case.
The only thing I can guarantee you, because of course life, there's uncertainties, unknowns, and undoels, that all I can assure you is that OTEC would be removed from the equation when it comes to Beacon Apartments. We have a contract drafted. It says that they get to take all of their stuff back and they just leave the district entirely, and they will no longer have any rights to it, because not only did your group, the Beacon crew, have a successful mission at Nautilus Base, so that gave you leverage. But you also, if you do this one last job, that's more leverage you have for them to owe you. So the contract, I had lawyers go over it. I went over it myself as, a corporate person myself. It looked rock solid, and I can at least guarantee you that OTEC will be out of the equation. And if we do this job and it's successful, CINO will be out of the equation entirely. They won't have a company anymore. They will be dissolved.
How do we know?
Obliterated, destroyed. That was a fun one. I got that in there. What?
How do we know it won't go to another company?
At that point, that's just an uncertain future. You, as the owners of Beacon, would have to deal with that. It's sort of like how you dealt with CINO when they originally approached you with an offer, but they at that point it's not really a Rockwell PMC or OTEC or Militech thing. I can't put a contract on here that makes it so that literally no one in the universe will ever approach this apartment ever again. But I can at least make up for the mistakes that have happened up to this point.
So we'll own it.
Yes, it'll go back to being. Well, you still technically do, which is OTEC's problem. OTEC is slowly gaining more. What's it called? Value on the apartments, so they can buy you out without your permission if we were to say no at this point. But currently you are still the owners, which is why we still have leverage in this fight.
Go look at everybody. When did I own?
You don't worry about it. So if I'm understanding correctly, we own the apartment, but
yes.
When OTEC offered to step in and protect us from CINO, we signed away some of those rights, and now to keep them from exercising those rights.
It's more like they're starting to form more and more of a legal case against a contract that was originally formed, saying that because all of their equipment is here, they own legal rights on it. So they currently have no way to do it. However, a case is starting to work against you due to how much is being put here. Originally, that's not in the contract. They would have to fight for it, but they are getting more and more ground to be able to pull it off, especially with the OTEC's fundings and stuff like that. They might be able to hire good enough lawyers that it could be something that they pull the trigger on. Originally, they weren't going to do that, but
one giant corporation went up against 4 to occasionally 7 normal individuals. I'm sure we would win that case.
Exactly. That's what it really is coming down to, is that technically, legally, everything in the contract say you guys own it and they don't own it, and none of the stuff is theirs. However, lawyers being lawyers, corporations being corporations, America being America, well, I guess it's technically the Free Republic of California, would be, they would be able to probably skirt around that contract and figure out a way to do it.
Or just do it, and who are we going to go to?
Yeah. However, this contract stops them from doing that. But the problem is the payment is Weskers, stop.
Gotta see outside.
What happened?
But the payment for this contract is one last job.
Well, it sounds like there's not a whole lot of an option for us.
It is an unfortunate ultimatum forced
here.
thing. Yep. We could say no and move. What's the fun in that?
Sure.
The world gets a little darker.
Well.
But like I said,
one last job.
I'm going to skedaddle, leave, go. And I will allow you all to think of it. The meeting will be in 2 days. You have 2 days to discuss, figure out if this is the route you would like to go. There's an easy way and a hard way. The easy way is to just move. And that's... just because it's simple doesn't make it easy. Let's put it that way. The hard way is to fight for what's yours and keep it. And I'll leave you with that. Sorry I came to this, but I mean, we could stop a war before it starts, and we also get to keep what's ours. So, goodbye. Adios. Avocado. What? You get to be a homo. He walks out, like he kind of does his little salute thing and walks out of the apartment. You see him get on his bike and drive off.
Oh, he didn't get any tacos.
I think it would be hard to eat a taco on a bike like that.
He could.
I mean, this sounds like a suicide mission to me.
Oh, 100%.
Us and a handful of other mercenaries storming a CINO military base. If it's that important, it's going to be that well guarded.
Here's the thing about all this is, if we all happen to not make it back and the Beacon Apartments is left unattended by its co-owners, well, then they don't have to worry about the legal business at all, right?
Right.
And that's why you have me here. And you see in the doorway, Kip just he's completely naked. He kind of comes in. I've been here the whole time.
I walk over and I push a button to just have the door closed.
I hate the ocean.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. What I'm just saying, I'll stay here. I hate the ocean. I don't want to go. I just want to stay here with Gunner and smoke.
Okay, shut up. Bye.
Okay, bye. You just hear the creaks of the stairs, and then you hear a trip. You hear him swear, and he gets back up. Door opens, and Rick's standing there, and he looks up at you with these eyes, these duck eyes, these cute duck pleading eyes. Don't get rid of our home, Papa. He doesn't say, but he says with his actions.
I'm gonna look at remember. CINO's probably not that bad. I mean, they're broke now.
Can you do any research on them? Can you see what maybe what we're walking into?
I mean,
defense wise?
Yeah, I can. Well, look. I mean, this corporate war isn't as war-y as they're saying.
Really? It's pretty chilling stuff from the news.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, news is
they've all-
written by
the
people.
media always overblows everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, if they're willing to deal with us to get us on board, maybe we can push them a little further, write some more benefits if we succeed, maybe some fail safes if we don't.
Yeah, I'd like to get
Tacos
like paid.
every Tuesday.
Yeah,
Get
that
some
would
money.
be good.
Be
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
I'd like to have the apartment whether we come back or not, so at least the people still here are immune.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm gonna just send a small message to Casper. Hey, if your loyal people are still up, here's, could you put this in? And basically saying to have it applied to,
What are the odds we can
Family
get them
members.
to turn over the rights to the equipment and the defenses they left?
Can I get a copy of the contract?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was-
I would say, Zed, you send that one message. I don't know who else. Well, I guess Jason, you have a way to contact him. It sounds like. But yeah, Zed, you get 3 emojis back: a thumbs up, a peace sign, and a check mark. I'm trying to think of a third one. And Jason, you almost get an immediate PDF, and it says like pending and like all this other work in progress stuff on it. But yeah, you're able to look over that over the next 2 days if you want. But yeah, it sounds like Casper's working on securing the rights for Beacon to be more in your control.
Hey, what do you guys think Casper's getting out of all this? Like, he seems awfully helpful for a suit.
Maybe he lives here. Maybe he's gonna get his own spot
I mean,
here.
why would he want to? I'm sure he's got someplace better than here. The dryer never works.
That's true.
Oh, I've never used it.
That's true too.
I don't know. I can't seem to find anything too deep about Casper through my means. So
I mean, I'm not saying we're inept, but just seems like he sure is trying harder to help us specifically than to help himself and help us on the side when it's convenient, like I'd expect. I don't know. But if
What did that moth guy look like? Are they like twins? And Casper?
No.
Could it be the same person?
no.
you think Casper is maybe Rick's father or something?
Yeah.
Rick's
Dave, if
still
you make
there,
that
by the
canon,
way.
I will fly to where you live and punch you.
Rick's estranged father just trying to take care of him.
I just want to take care of my boy. My beautiful boy.
Well, like I said, I don't think we have too much of a choice. It's either we don't do this and lose this place, or have to, I don't know, find some way to fight a giant corporation, or we do this, succeed and keep it, or we do this and we don't succeed and maybe people will care about keep it. I don't.
As much as I would like to say, fuck OTEC, come and take it, I mean, even if we fend them off, CINO wants this place too, and I don't think we can handle both fights. So,
I mean, what's being homeless?
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't exciting for you, though, while it was happening, Jason.
Yeah, but I was lonely and homeless. Now we'd all be, and we could be homeless together.
And then the crew went homeless.
We all decided
That
to
easy.
open up our own taco
That was a really
stands.
convincing argument. What is being homeless?
All the same to you,
I'd be
Jason.
really
I-
curious to see. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't want to lose the only real home that I've built.
Right. I mean, this place isn't any mansion, but it's a lot nicer than some other places that we would end up. So I mean, I want to keep it for sure. I'm just worried about bullets mostly.
We know there's a chance I'll be homeless again, or all my friends will die in a corporate war again.
Yeah. The only way to avoid the bullets entirely is to leave the apartment, so...
Well, that's the thing. You can step out the front door of the apartments and get bullets.
Well, when you put it that way... I mean, I guess I'm in. Better to go in with a plan than wait and let OTEC make the first move against us.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, as soon as we refuse CINO, we're not going to be protected from CINO either. So I think, as much as I hate to say it, I'm in.
I mean, what are your thoughts, Kels? I mean, you got your nomad clan that you could go back to, maybe. But what do you feel about all it?
I mean, I'm here. I'm still have a reason to be in the city, so I want to stay here a little bit longer. So I want to keep this place too. So I'm in. It's my vote.
Although,
Unless.
if we help OTEC and they pull out, they leave us alone. Where does that leave us with CINO? I mean, I guess supposedly CINO will have been destroyed. So, yeah.
I mean, that's where we can, I guess.
I'd like to see the
our
exact
leverage.
Yeah, I'd like to see the exact wording of this contract and how it defines OTEC's technology that they're going to take out. Maybe we can finagle that and keep the defenses.
What if we go to CINO and go against OTEC?
That seems like an actual guaranteed death upon arrival, actually.
I mean, do you think one of them is at an advantage? I'm not above switching sides to the...
OTEC 100% OTEC, yeah. CINO is kind of doesn't... They have this one place, and that's kind of their claim to fame right now.
Does that line up with what you've heard, Jason?
Oh, I'm just throwing ideas out there.
I mean, I'm not above switching to the winning team. If CINO is the winning team.
Nah, they're pretty much both losing teams.
Oh, great. You think we can take them both?
No. I mean,
okay.
We already
just
have
checking.
a contract with one, I guess. We might as well just...
Yeah. I think at the very least, we should try to get one more over on OTEC and keep the defense they've put up. Kind of prevent them from restarting this whole thing later. Or someone else trying it. If we can keep their blast shields, their turrets, all that, the cybersecurity. I mean, between Jason and I and Kells, I think we can safely reprogram anything that they might have left behind that's dangerous to us and keep it. So, I mean,
put that in the contract again. I mean, we can see if Casper can get that in the contract. Like, we keep at least some of the gear, if not all of it, from OTEC.
Yeah. Or maybe they define their gear in some way that a little hack here and there can make it not theirs anymore, and they can suck a brick.
Yeah. Text them back. Say
Suck
we
brick.
want changes.
Add to contract, suck brick. I do not text that.
And we own everything as is. The whole thing. And they cater Taco Tuesdays. For the rest of
eternity.
For the rest of Taco's existence.
A lifetime
they're not
supply of
allowed.
tacos.
No. They can't do that because then it's destroying the local business established. Yeah, no. Fuck
they
that.
pay
That's
him.
corporate
That's all I mean.
bullshit.
They just pay him to do it.
Oh, they pay the Okay, well that's fine then.
I like that. I think those are both equally important and critical things to add to the contract.
Yes. All that information is relayed, and also that we're pretty much on board if all of those things are added.
I'll see what I can do. I'm on it. I'll go. Multiple O's. Casper thumbs up.
I think it said. Did you remember to send a taco emoji?
I will send a follow-up that is from Jason, taco.
He sends one back that just shows a ghost eating.
Oh, good. He likes tacos.
All right. Sounds like I'd better go see what I've got in storage, which is a move I can do.
Hey.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So
Okay,
if we're
excellent.
gonna break up to do like stuff in the intervening 2 days,
Repertory.
it sounds like somebody at least wants to go over the contract. Who would like to do that? I could actually just have Casper
Not
roll
me.
for that. Actually, you did tell Casper to do it, so I'm gonna just have Casper do it. Let's see. It's 2d6 for this game, right? Or is it 1d6?
Yes. No, it's
I
2d6.
usually. Okay, I was about to say I usually do the.
I want to
digital
just
one, but
let
I
the
don't have a sheet.
audience. I just want to let the audience know
I'm
that
just
Dave,
running this game, don't worry about it.
In the days preceding this was like, I got it, everyone. I'm so glad we switched to this system. I got it so much. It's definitely there's not crunchy at all, and it's great and it's wonderful. Cut to today. How do we play this game?
What's a move? What's
What
a move
dice
again?
do we use?
What's a move again? Okay, so I rolled. Casper did something based on that roll.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Riveting.
What a system that is. We can just say
Right.
things.
Wow. It's pretty being the GM. What would everybody else like to do?
I have a move called Storage. After receiving a job, you may look through your accumulated parts and supplies for equipment that might help with the current mission. Roll Mind, and then gain gear
Ooh.
based on the result.
Yay.
So I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to hit that button. Forward, none. 7. Okay.
Do you have a list of gear that you pull from for that?
No,
or-
the gear and intel are
that's just a thing.
nebulous things that you can use in the narrative.
Aha! So there you go. You're digging around in your stuff. You got some gear.
On a 7 to 9, gain 1 gear relevant to your chosen area or areas of expertise, which are vehicles and guns.
Ooh.
Ooh, I wonder which one.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
yeah.
which, Gunnar Wallstead is like a gun dealer that lives in your apartment now.
Oh, yeah.
So if you did want to
The boy.
potentially do some gun stuff, you could do it with Gunnar. Because I like Digimon World, and I tried to make it so that every single chapter you recruited somebody and they were useful, because that's the best game mechanic of all time, and more
I'm
games
glad
need to
that
do it.
you liked Digimon World.
I
One person did,
really liked Digimon World.
and Dave was the only one.
Dave was the
I don't know,
only one.
That tickles the resource management in me. I like it too.
Yeah, I just like recruiting people and having them do stuff. but yeah, so that's another possibility that maybe you forgot was a possibility in the apartment.
Cool.
What would everyone else like to do?
I am gonna do a little bit of extra researching specifically around this facility and relevant adjacent topics. I have the move that at the start of a mission, it's called Nose for a Story. I roll Edge, and then it gives me some holds that I can, during the mission, spend to invoke a couple of things.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that real quick. 13. Let's go.
Woo, woo!
Excellent. So I gain 3 hold, which I think I'm gonna spend one of them. I can spend one of them to ask a question as if I was doing the research move.
Oh, cool.
And
Oh,
here's my question.
yes.
Where would I/we find the easiest way into this facility?
You need to know what the facility is first.
Oh, just
Um,
kidding. Let me rephrase
so-
my question.
Well, here's the thing. You do know
Where
that
would
there's
I
going
find the facility?
to.
Because we're gonna have a briefing. I'm gonna hold
Yeah.
on to my holds. Just
I
kidding.
was gonna
I'm gonna
say,
wait till we
yeah.
get more information.
That definitely sounds like something you should do in 2 days. But there's still
Excellent.
probably some stuff you can look into now.
Well, I'm going to hold those holds for later.
Then, Zed, what you do get while you're kind of doing. So I'm assuming you've done some research, but you're
Yes.
just holding. You're gonna reveal what you found later. So while you're doing research, you get another text message. This is now. We'll say this is the next day. So this is. There's now one more day before the thing. You get a message. It's from Mr. Big. And it just says, "Heard you got a big job coming up. I'd like to call in my favor."
Oh no, that was from 1,000 years ago.
Oh no, I remembered.
Oh no.
Oh Jesus shit Christ. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
Mr.
actually knew Mr. Big.
No, I think that was
Yes,
my first mission with.
Yeah.
Was it? Man, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Seems right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
you
we
got a
need to
ghost
get a
wire
ghost
from.
wire.
Yeah, them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah, they gave us a steep discount, and I have here written in red from literally 2021 when we played last. Favor owed to Mr. Big.
Whoops.
Whoopsies.
Remind me who Mr. Big is?
Mr. Big is well,
like
you go for it.
yeah, Mr. Big, she was a runner of Mr. Big's Tech Supply, which is a 5-story office building in old downtown, and they have a bunch of stuff that like net runner gear and stuff that's hard to find.
Pretty much a black market, like secret black market dealer.
Okay.
And she gave you a 90% discount on a ghost wire.
Yeah, it was very, very steep discount.
But all she said the payment was a favor.
Yeah. Zed will respond without telling anybody else. Zed will respond. It's a tricky time right now. What kind of favor are you looking for?
Just says walls have ears, and then says an address to meet up. Or the net has ears. That's cooler.
Yeah. I'll reply solo ?
Yeah. Thumbs up.
I hate that for me.
It's a thumbs up, but the emojis look like them.
Oh,
Like
boy.
they got like a custom artist to do emojis based on how they look.
Okay. I will. I'm gonna go to. I will go to. Mike is the most paranoid person in this group besides me. I will go to where Micah is, or where I would assume that they are. And we'll say, I am gonna go meet with someone. If I'm not back in a couple hours, can you come find me? Micah, that was to you.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about grenades. What?
As one should. No, Zed came down to find you after sending all of this, and is basically saying, I'm gonna go meet with Mr. Big to have a discussion. But if you don't hear back from me in a couple hours, I trust you to be able to figure out how to figure out where I am?
Sure. why don't I come with you and just hang out outside nearby?
They kind of implied that they wanted me to go alone.
Well, fuck them. You can go meet with them alone, and I'll be 100 yards outside with a gun, just in case.
Fair point. Fair enough. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead. So I got that gear from preparation. I'm gonna go ahead and cash it in now and hand Zed what's essentially a panic button. Like, that I don't know.
What's this for?
Just in case. I think it's probably just something subtle, like a keychain that just pings the apartment crew.
Okay.
And I've probably
We can make
programmed
it funnier than that.
Listen, we can embellish it more if it comes up to it.
Hey, Micah, what that drone do?
My drone?
Yeah, what that drone do?
Listen, we'll get
Well,
there
the
when we get
drone
there.
only has one purpose, and we don't want it to activate on her location. Push this and then run.
Real fast.
This is your orbital stratagem. Up, down, left, right, up, throw.
Got it.
No,
right.
yeah, it'll just be like a panic button, something that you could activate subtly in your pocket. But it just sends an email to everyone, and I've got it pre-programmed to say, "This is Zed, I'm in trouble," and then like the timestamp and the last location data if it can get it.
Okay. Put it in their pocket. And I will make my way over to wherever this rendezvous place is.
Take my way downtown.
Ha.
I'm gonna let, even though you only talk to me, I'm gonna let Kels know too what's going on.
Jason
Alright,
doesn't need to know.
Alright, well, if anything pops up an email, I'll be ready. I'm just gonna keep getting things prepared for the mission.
I was gonna say, before we cut to Zed, Jason and Kels, what would you like to do?
No one's gonna know that I monitor every message that comes in and out of this building. I'll probably actually try to jack in and see if I can find any info on the mission.
In front of God and everyone?
There's no God here.
Not in
I don't know what
Beacon.
you think.
Let's-
That's why we want to keep it. So this is no gods allowed.
Let's see. You want to probably research or potentially hit the street. You don't have to stay in the apartments for the next 2 days. You could go out somewhere.
Well, I was gonna try to research all the I do want to like hack or whatever it is in this game to find out like where more info on the CINO thing, which means I need to probably hack OTEC first.
You okay? They could just tell you in 2 days. But yeah, no, I'm cool with that if you want to go that far with it. Do you want to research then?
Yeah.
Give me that research roll. Don't fail it. Okay, it's
I didn't fail it.
You didn't. You take an intel and I get to ask, or you get to ask a question and I'll answer it. So you got that intel you can spend later.
Let's see, under research. Take until then. Okay. I'm gonna look. Where would I find the CINO location?
I think that's fair enough. You can actually do that without going into OTEC. So you didn't have to hack OTEC in order to do that. Pretty much what you could do is just look at the operations of CINO at the moment, and this is all kind of even a little public. I don't think you have to dig too deep to figure it out. It's more like you're looking for puzzle pieces and know there is a puzzle where most people don't know a puzzle exists. So you're looking at like, okay, staff of CINO operation facilities and all this other stuff, like, oh, where is Arasaka sending its troops to the most, like shift management, all this other stuff. You're kind of just looking at where are the people that CINO is kind of hiring, where are they going? And you find like little peppered stations here and there. It only seems like 2 or 3 people, so it's just like definitely not those. But it is funny because you notice how understaffed all of those are. Like literally like whole ocean platforms, 2 people, nobody and stuff like that. But what you end up finding is CINO has a major, it's not a military base, it's being retrofitted to be the last stand military base, but it's originally just a research platform, but it is their largest one. It's called Titanic. It's just a really large main office that's used mostly for ocean research, tech research for the ocean, stuff like that. Both of these companies, if you remember, OTEC is an ocean research company, and so is CINO. The whole reason they're getting into this is because they're trying to buy the shares of IHAG, which was an ocean research company and stuff like that. So, but yes, it's like an underwater, like a semi-underwater platform. That's the biggest one that CINO has. The other thing, well, yeah, no, I'll give you that. So that seems to be, I'm going to say with certainty, you figure out that that's the base that they're probably all talking about.
Okay.
Because everything else just seems so understaffed and like, not that. And what you do see is like, yeah, that's a lot of people, but it's a shockingly low amount of people considering what's about to happen. Like it's an army, but like not a big one.
All right, can I find out what, I don't know what they do there, right?
You currently don't know what they do. You can look up what it's supposed to be used for. It's supposed to be used for ocean research and like technological like tech for ocean research. But right now, they're not putting on the books what it's being used for because it's being used as like a very quick and dirty last stand. Basically, not necessarily last stand because the vibe is they don't know they're going to be attacked. But the idea is, okay, we got to rally all the troops that we have left somewhere and just really make sure that this base doesn't go. So right now, it's just kind of a rallying point.
Okay.
Kells
is I don't have any moves like to help with missions and stuff or like prep like that. So what Kells is doing is pretty much he's in the garage all the time. He's hooking up a trailer to his bike. With some stuff in it.
Ooh, that's interesting. Would you like to do? Let's see if there's something you can do there. How about, just because nobody else really did it, I want to give you something to do.
Yeah.
Why don't you roll me Edge for Get the Job?
Ooh, Edge.
And we'll say that this is kind of like a thing that all of you did, negotiating with Casper, because it feels weird that Kells would be in charge of this solo.
Yeah.
But just to give you kind of something to do right now, I think Get the Job is kind of a fun.
9.
You got 9, so you get 7 through 9. You get to choose one from the list below.
Okay. I have the list somewhere. Hold on.
Yeah.
Getting the job. I'm gonna say the job pays well because that was his main concern.
Yeah. I think that's. I want to say that Kells was in charge of just asking Casper for that.
Yeah.
On top of things and stuff. There's some sort of clause that Casper throws back at you to tell you that yes, we can ask for payment on top of things because Section 4, Code 41 says you can't offer a life-threatening job without payment and stuff like that in case. Blah blah blah. It's all legalese to you, but essentially, after he says that, he says TLDR. Yes, okay, confirmed.
Nice. Cool. So extra money.
Yeah. With that, okay. Yay, Zed's back. Zed. Will everyone else? You can all go take a break. get your headphones off, go on mute, whatever. Zed's gonna do this part. Oh no!
I'm so frightened.
Okay, sounds like everyone's
Uh-oh.
gone. I'm gonna laugh if Jason kept his on just because he's a net runner.
Oh.
Hacking. Not like that though. Okay, so the place you meet up, you're familiar with it. It's the mall. Remember the mall? Remember the mall when the mall tried to kill you?
Malls went out of style and then they came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, too much vengeance if you ask me. There's like a couple of food kiosks and food trucks outside of the mall, and you see what looks like Mr. Big's informant. Remember you had to talk to like a guy with an Australian... Oh, no, he didn't have an Australian accent, and then he did. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the guy that was basically the GameStop employee sitting at a table.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like, he's enjoying a... let's see, what kind of food do they have there? I want to say they have sisig, which is like a Filipino food. There's a sisig truck there. And he's just eating food, waiting for whoever he's supposed to meet. He doesn't quite know yet.
Yeah, I think Zed will not like directly approach, like take a little bit of a meandering route, so as not to just look like they're beelining there, but will come up from like this side or from behind and say, "Long time no see, stranger."
He kind of looks up at you and swallows what he's eating. He's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, it's been a while, isn't it?" He drops the axe immediately. He's like, "Have you tried the sisig?" He kind of nods over to the food truck and winks.
I'll have to keep it in mind. Not hungry right now.
I think you should try the sisig. He nods again over to the food truck. They have
All
a
right.
special. If you ask for the special,
Well, since
You
I
get
have
it.
a special.
yeah. And he keeps eating. Nods at you again.
I will head on over.
The clerk at the food truck kind of looks over at you. And they're like, "Okay, what are you having?" And pulls out a pen.
I'll take one of those and I'll point to something that looks decent and is relatively inexpensive. And then also, I heard the special was pretty good. I'd like to get one of those too.
The special, you don't say. Well, let me see what our chef has to say about that. He kind of steps away, and then Mr. Big steps forward with a chef's hat on. It's like, Zed Bafdict as I live and breathe.
Mr. Big? I calling back to like whoever that clerk was. I do want one of these.
He'll get it for you. He'll get it for you. It's been a while. Been a long while.
Yeah, it has.
Nothing comes for free, so I'm gonna keep this quick. She does cut you off. And also, I got plenty of orders I gotta get to. But I heard that you're going on a bit of a big adventure soon.
Sure, you could call it that, and definitely not equivalent to indentured servitude.
Meh. Boy, do I know it. They got me working. She just kind of jokes around. With that, I have the special for you. And she slides you what looks like a plate of... Sisig's just kind of like meat with a special sauce on it and like some stuff. She slides you that. She's like, it would behoove you to finish your plate. And with that, she winks and just kind of goes back into the back of the food truck, and then the real clerk shows up, and she's like, "You got the special free of charge. You're our 1,000th customer. Have fun. Enjoy."
Sure, I will. And Zed is going to kind of nibble at it a little bit. It's going to go immediately to the restroom and dump the rest of it into the trash.
Underneath the paper that they give you under the food, there's like what looks kind of like a USB stick, but then also like a chip that you can insert. And you know these things are like usually have messages on them and stuff. So, but yeah, it's like a message on how to use it, you would assume.
Okay. Yeah, I'll is it like an interface? Like I can plug it like the chip. Like I can put it into my okay. Yeah, I'll
you
put
can
that,
plug it into your
Yeah, I'll plug that in, yeah.
Okay, so what it says is calling in a favor. I need you to use this USB stick on OTEC and CINO equipment. I need it to be plugged into a main terminal, and in order, it will do the rest of the work for you.
Okay. That's it?
You could probably look up more details from there.
Okay.
And, but as far as like the upfront details of how to use the thing and what the favor is, that's what they are.
Okay.
It says, keep this secret. I will know if anyone knows.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm writing notes furiously. Okay. Yeah, I'll do some digging to see what any other kind of like instructions, any indication of what might be on the drive.
Let's do because you have an internet connection in your head and stuff like that. Let's do probably research. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Or would assess be good?
Let's see. Closely studying a place, person, or situation.
Size up an opponent in charge. You investigate a person. I would say research. Research seems right.
Yeah.
You can also hit the street and see. Well, they did tell you to give your secret, so maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You could.
No.
Who knows what that means?
Yeah, I know enough people like Mr. Big to know that that is actually a bad idea. Okay. I am... Okay. Yeah, I'll try to dig a little bit more. Specifically in this situation, I want to know what's going on.
Okay. So you're doing research?
No one's yeah. No one's gonna know I am rolling research, but they don't have to worry about it. Do I have any temporary forwards?
Do you?
Perchance?
Did you write that down anywhere? Or?
No. You can also.
I can just give you one.
You have so much power, Dave, and you don't even know.
I don't feel like you need. I don't think you would in this situation.
Okay.
I wouldn't give you a forward because this is a very mysterious situation.
Yeah. Okay. 12.
12 is
Take
pretty
that.
good. Okay. Yeah, you know how it works. You get an intel, and then you get to ask me 2 questions.
Okay. All right. The questions I have for you. My cat just meowed the questions to you. I hope you got that.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, where...
I would say you can also just not, like, you can just ask any question you want. It doesn't have to necessarily follow the prompt on the list. Those are good starters, though.
These are, yeah. How... Oh, jeez. Jeez. How... Okay, I think the first question, it feels like I might not get the answer that I want, but that might be more interesting. Where would I find these general in terminal interfaces? Like,
oh, okay.
Just
Yeah. So
the
as far as
specificity of that, yeah.
yeah, so it kind of goes into detail about the types of terminals that this would work on. So not just any terminal would work. It has to be kind of a main terminal that seems like it's connected to some sort of mainframe network. So you want a data terminal of sorts. You don't necessarily just want any old terminal. Like it's got to be connected to the net, and it's got to be like useful in gathering data in some capacity.
Okay. My my second question, I don't know if it's necessarily one that's applicable here. Is there any way for me to find out how easily, like, if I could get away with telling anybody?
You are under the impression that that would be extremely tough considering who Mr. Big is. Mr. Big is like Mr. Big is connected to a network of netrunners that are better than Jason. So it's like,
right.
Yeah, you don't want to go against the kingpin of a black market.
Yeah,
they're gonna find out. So
yeah.
It's probably best to stick to the secrecy.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Piece of cake. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. All right.
All right.
I guess so.
You get out of the bathroom and the food truck's gone. There's a guy standing with a receipt. Like, I didn't get my order. He's just like, this happens every time I come here. All right, I'll get everybody back on. Let's see if I can get Jason in.
You know what is great? We can do a cool thing in the Discord where you can ping people.
That, and there's this. Sometimes that makes sounds.
But it doesn't, though. But sometimes people read.
Okay, looks like he's grabbing his thing.
He's waving your hand.
Get on it! Get on it! Okay. And with that, Zed, where do you go? You don't necessarily have to return to Beacon after that. I want to say it's now afternoon on this day.
Yeah. I'll message Micah and just say all good.
Okay. I assume maybe did you ride here with me? Am I a ride back?
No.
No, okay.
No, I have a car. I have a really nice car.
You do, but I believe I mentioned the mall was within walking distance of your place. So you didn't necessarily need to use it. And it's a nice enough day out.
Yeah.
It's what? February? What day is it?
Who knows anymore? Who's to say? Who's to say?
It's February, early February. It's not that nice outside.
So I have my car and I'm good.
Yeah.
I want to, as soon as I get the message, though, I'm going to be waiting at Zed's car. How was lunch?
It was all right.
Is this going to be a bunch of secrets, or are you going to...
About the lunch?
About your meeting.
I mean... Hang on. Hold on. Hang on. Not me looking at the moves list and just saying, I'm gonna go under the knife right now. No. I want to try to use the move fast talk to convince Micah that I have everything under control and they don't need to worry about it.
I would say instead, do act under pressure.
So here's the thing about fast talk. I roll to convince someone because it's a PC. If I roll well, they can choose to, believe it or not, if they do mark experience. If they don't, then they have to act under pressure to go against my stated
Oh, gotcha. That's interesting.
It's a more contested thing, so it doesn't take away like player agency.
Makes sense.
If I roll a little less well, then there's some other stuff that you can choose.
And it's not suspicious at all that we're rolling.
Don't even
think about it too much.
Yeah, so essentially, to answer your question about it being secrets, Zed will give you a very practiced smile, one that you've seen countless times, and say, "You know, I think I got this one. I don't think you have to worry about it." And then I'm gonna try to do that really, really well, like so well. 11 well, even.
Yeah, no problem.
So on a 10 plus, PC chooses whether to do it, aka don't worry about it, I got it, or not. If you do choose to just accept it, you mark experience. If you do not, you have to roll act under pressure.
Okay. You say you got it, Zed? You got it. You trusting you on this. Trusting that you know where, at the end of the day, my motives are.
I know that you're on the winning side, and I'm not too unfamiliar with trying to do what's best for people you care about.
Cool.
I know.
See you back at the apartment then. And I'll drive off.
Zed just kind of stands there for a bit as like Mike is leaving, heavily questioning a lot of things. Oopsie, but then we'll eventually go back.
Alrighty. With that, do we just want to cut to day of?
I would like to spend some cred just to buy a couple of things from what's his name.
Gunner?
I want to get some flashbang grenades.
You open the beam door to Gunner's apartment, and you hear like, what's that weird instrument they play in Zelda? It's like, or it's Super Mario 64 in the desert area. It's like that weird kind of guitar banjo-y thing. I don't know. It plays whenever there's hippie music and high people and stuff. But you enter the room and there's like one of those little like baby lights that plays like projects like images onto the wall, but it's like dinosaurs and stuff. And it's Gunner sitting there and he's like in a meditative pose, and he's got like 3 joints in his mouth, and he's just kind of like sitting there. And then Kip is also there, just sitting. Same pose, completely naked still. And Rick is just between them both. Rick walks up to you, Micah, and you can put in your order.
Rick, I'm looking for flashbangs, and if you have one, a hand taser.
He quacks. Gunner's like, "That's a duck, man. Why don't you come over here and talk to me?"
Gunner, I'll take flashbangs if you got them and a hand taser.
Alrighty, let's see if I got those things for you. Where is the dice? Here we go. Roll 2 of these bad boys. Yeah, I was just seeing if he had them, because Gunner doesn't, he's not like a shop, he's just kind of got whatever. I want to say, yeah, you got those things. He rolled a 10, so it's like,
okay,
you know, that's good. And that's without any like bonuses or whatever he would have or anything. But he's like, so you said, what'd you say again, man?
Flashbangs.
Far out.
Hand taser.
Hand taser. Oh yeah, I got those things. Tell the duck to get those. He rolls his eyes back in his head and just go,
Rick, we cannot rely on these other humans. I need flashbangs and a hand taser.
You see him walk off, and then you see him like open a closet door again somehow. Nobody's really too sure how. And then he just kind of uses his head, and you see these grenades just kind of rolling on the floor. And it like takes forever for them to get to you.
I'll pick him up. Is this a pay gunner sort of deal, or does he provide us with things in exchange for rent?
You pay Gunner a little bit at least. Yeah.
So I think normally it would be 2 cred for the grenades and 1 for the flash or for the hand taser.
That seems about right. I want to. Yeah. It's not like you asked for frag grenades and like a machine gun. You asked for 2 decently cheap things. Cool. So Rick just waits for the money.
Is this a cash situation, or are we in the cyberpunk world?
Oh yeah, you're
bills,
in the cyberpunk world.
Bills.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I gotta pay in bills.
Yeah, it's the duck. Yeah.
It's a duck. Did you cred Gunner or whatever?
Yeah, sure.
You see it ping with the duck. He takes care of the finances. And then he waddles back and then kind of shakes his little tail feather and sits down with the other 2 as they just kind of meditate. Thanks, bud. Have fun.
All right. Good luck with that.
We're ascending to the 12th level now. And then he accidentally swallows one of his joints. Rick! Kip does nothing. He just keeps sitting there. But the duck actually starts to peck him right in the chest to get him to... And yeah, okay, with that, whatever. That was weird. But we're going to go to day of, unless anybody has one more thing, because you technically have a full day between then or now, but sounds like we kind of did everything we wanted to do. What's up?
I mean, like, in between the days, I'll tell them that I found all of the CINO empty facilities, and just this one that has a lot. But not even that special. It's just, there's a lot. That's where everyone's going. They like pulled all of their money and all their resources, and all the other places got like bare bones staff, and then there's just one that's they're funneling everything into, which isn't even a lot. And I don't even think they're expecting anybody.
So it doesn't seem like crazy defended or anything?
No, which makes this whole thing more weird.
Alright, solid.
Alright, well, let's do it.
Okay. The next morning, you hear the loud chopper noises of an autogyro as it's kind of hovering over your roof at Beacon.
The half-finished helipad.
Yeah, it's not landing because it can't, but but it's hovering there. And you all get Zed gets a text from Casper saying, "Ride's here."
I would yell that to everyone else.
I want to say it's decently early. Yeah, it's decently early in the morning.
I was planning on taking my bike and stuff there.
I don't think that would. Well, I mean,
were you, Micah?
I was thinking if this is one big last job, I ought to bring backup. So
you'll probably work that out if you let Casper know the situation.
Yeah, Kells would tell Jason or Zed to message Casper and say that he'll meet you. Kells will meet you guys there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go with Kells and ride my bike and bring my drone.
Sounds good.
I mean, I'll take the chopper.
I'll take the chopper. But you see me like getting up to the pad with a 2-day-old taco.
What's this? The chopper noises. Huh? Okay, get in. Burning daylight here.
Helps calm the stomach.
The thing you'll notice is that this is an auto gyro. It's not a flying limo like the last time he picked you all up. So it's cheaper. But you get the go-ahead to bring your cars and trucks. It's kind of a longer drive because you got to go along the coast and risk nomads, I guess. But like, I want to say, obviously, Zed and Jason get to where the auto gyro drops them off first, and it's so loud in the auto gyro you can't really talk anyway. But it's just like an unassuming pier. That's just kind of like it's well maintained, so it's not like it's falling apart or anything like that, but it doesn't seem like it really leads to anything. And the auto gyro kind of flies away, and it's just Casper, Zed, and Jason standing there. And it's just like, okay, it'll take them about like an hour to get here. It's about that far away. Like I want to say it's like a what's it called? By flight, it's like 2 hours, but by driving, it's 3. So you all get there.
Flies.
Yeah. Crows have been dead for a long time. Not in this dystopia. but yeah, no, so Zed and Jason, you're just at this pier. There's just gentle lapping waves on the ocean as you're just waiting for Micah and Kels to road trip over here.
Can we see where this facility is, where we're meeting, where we're ending up? Are we just...
You can't physically see anything at the moment, but you can ask Casper.
I've lost the ability to see.
There's nothing. It's nothing. No, it's just a pier. It's just a concrete pier that leads into the ocean.
Yeah. So Casper, I failed to see any place.
Haven't you ever heard the expression to take a long walk off a short pier? I'm joshing, joking, and kidding. There's a bathysphere at the end of the pier that we have to take to where we're going.
We're taking a bath?
We're going underwater. We're going underwater.
Yes. There's a research facility. It's probably one of the... It's not necessarily that it's one of the last OTEC, and he's saying this in character, by the way. It's not the last OTEC building, but it's just one that they wouldn't expect us all to be meeting up in. So that's why we chose it. We can't go back to the other OTEC place that we used to be in because Frank, well, spoilers. Frank sold us out, and that location is compromised. Shit. Bad. So,
Poop.
Frank, he was the guy that led Team 11.
No, I said poop.
Oh,
because you only
bad.
said 2 words. I was finishing your.
I said shit, bad, and compromised. Poop. What is this? It's just, and Casper is wearing the same red outfit you saw him, like a different one, obviously, but it's the same color scheme, red with like white accents and black. It's more of a tactical, athletic suit, but it still looks corpo in design.
Casper, what are you getting out of this?
Well, OTEC did say they were going to buy out Rockwell PMC if I didn't do this job because they have the ability to. Because they basically said if you don't help us with this, we're going to buy you out and use your assets to make you help us, essentially. So I didn't want to lose my company. I built it from scratch with my dad. So I didn't want to like lose everything just because this whole thing's happening. But also you guys have really imprinted on me, and I really just enjoy your, whole thing. I just want you to keep doing that. It just kind of reminds me of me when I was younger.
How old does he look?
He's not that much older than you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But it's more like he means more of a metaphorical younger, because the corpo lifestyle has just kind of made him, a shackle.
He means poorer.
Less fiscal responsibility.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, and when you say younger, do you mean like more like Rick?
The duck?
Yes.
My son?
Got him.
Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! No.
Please.
What a twist!
Hells and I jump out of the water.
Stab him in the chest with a trident. Game over. It was all a dream. You wake up and Casper picks you up on the roof. No. I want to say with that, Kels and Micah pull up. It's not like he has to stop talking there, though.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like waves to you too.
I use my just for fun. I'm gonna use my TV skin and wave them down like glowing orange and like green like
a ship or like an airplane.
yeah.
As you're doing that, Zed will just look over to you and just say, subtle.
Is it fair to say that we probably have like a truck that I can bring my drone and motorcycle in? Because I just realized that driving a tank 3 hours is probably not ideal.
I want to say
the environment. I think that's okay.
I want to say you've probably made a rig that you could put it on the back of a truck somehow, and you have some. It feels like you would have some sort of like truck or van or something that you would carry some of your work stuff in, but your motorcycle's just like your baby. So, yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, you don't necessarily need to bring those down. You can park those in like a parking lot nearby, and then because it's not like you're gonna go straight from wherever you're going to underwater. Like you wouldn't be able to drive the truck underwater.
Like you would think.
But yeah, actually, this might be more complicated. We'll see. We'll figure something out. But yeah, the bathysphere at the end of the pier kind of rises up out of the water. It's a decently large bathysphere too. Yeah, and then the door opens and you see somebody that looks like vaguely familiar, but like only because maybe you saw him at OTEC when you were doing ocean warfare, but like never like interacted with this guy, but he's just kind of like a face you've seen around. And he kind of waves. It's like, shall we descend? Go down? Deep throat?
No.
Kel took one step in and then looked at him and take one step back.
I'm back out.
I ain't doing it.
And we'll take our chances.
Yeah, he gets in.
Yeah. I was just getting used to not being in the water. And I'll get in.
Yeah. I don't like the ocean either. The door shuts and stuff. And the bathysphere starts to go down. Casper hands all of you a stick of gum. And you just see like the ocean go by, and eventually it gets like dark and murky because the ocean's polluted as all hell now, and it's hard to see in it and stuff, but eventually you do see lights kind of emerge from the dim fog, and it's like kind of this big kind of like dome-shaped like light coming from the ocean floor. And that's where it kind of leads you. It kind of looks like what used to be an agricultural underwater station. But it hasn't been used in a while, so it's a little murky and dirty, and like OTEC didn't really care to keep up with it. Like they kind of left it, they abandoned it for the most part, but like not in such a way that it's like looks like it's haunted and disheveled. Just more in a way that it's like, yeah, we have like a skeleton crew that takes care of this, and we'll call it a day from.
You can only let an underwater facility go so bad before you don't have an underwater facility.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because then it's just ruins on the ocean floor. Then it's the Titanic. But yeah, no, you make it. The doors open, and it gives you kind of a vibe like the end of a Star Wars movie, where there's just kind of like people walking around and people making plans, and everything kind of looks like it's been makeshift set up and stuff. But there's a lot of people here, like a good sized chunk of people. And because you're like, you know, with them, like it kind of feels like there's a whole army here, like just waiting to kind of get stuff together. There's like people that look like they want to like, you know, get some revenge, and there's other people that are like kind of worried and like trying to hype themselves up and everything. And yeah, so Casper's just like, they're going to be doing the briefing soon. I think maybe we should probably head our way over there. And then you hear like an alarm kind of go off, and this alarm normally would have been like a fire alarm. But I think everyone's now treating it as like a meet up in the atrium alarm. So it kind of goes off. And everybody just kind of starts funneling into this one room in the center of this building. The music is really not.
Yeah. Fucking awesome, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, let's go.
I want to take it as like everybody's kind of funneling. As like a quick aside to Casper, I want to say, is there like a restroom or something around here?
Who were you asking?
Casper.
Oh, Casper. And I
The
thought you were
friendly
some
ghost.
Yeah. Restroom? Yeah, there's probably. It kind of looks really exciting. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'll catch up in a second. Then I'll be right there.
Okay. Yeah.
The Benz or whatever. As this Zed just kind of says, just like nonchalantly, like waving their hand, and head that direction.
And then you see Casper just go, and you gotta go. And we gotta go to the briefing. Zed is pooping, shitting, pissing? I don't know.
None of the above. Absolutely none of the above, actually. I head towards the restroom and will immediately take a different direction once out of sight of most people.
With that, we will... Oh,
as an aside, just before we cut anywhere else, I have cyber eyes. I have cybernetics specifically for my eyes that have the tags, which are mostly narrative, and you get to define them. Magnification, recording, and also encrypted.
Huh. Encrypted's interesting.
Yeah, I picked it on Pipus. And I want people to hack my eyeballs.
Yeah! Oh, Jesus, that could totally happen. Yeah,
that would be bad. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to see if I can see what I need to see in this specific place for reasons that are my own and my own only.
With that, does everybody else funnel into the briefing?
Yeah.
Okay, so with the briefing, you manage to get close enough that you can kind of yell to the stage and they'd probably hear you. But everyone's kind of filing in. There's like you recognize a lot of the people on the stage. It's Team 11, so like Johnny Neptune and that group and all of your teachers for Motion Warfare. But there's notably not a guy that is Frank at the microphone currently. And it's just some corpo that looks like he's from OTEC or something like that. And he's really just trying to can I get everybody's attention, please? Please, can I get everybody's attention? Everybody calm down. And then you just see Johnny Neptune just kind of like pat the guy on the back and tell him to get fucked. And he takes the microphone. And the second he gets in the microphone, everybody cheers. And then he just kind of flicks everybody off and tells them to calm down. And he goes, right, by now I'm sure you've all heard about fucking Frank. And if you haven't, surprise, Frank's a fucking traitor. He sold OTEC base. He got a lot of us killed or captured. Bastards kidnapped some of our brightest and best students. So now we have to give meetings in this lovely little place. If we had our fucking mega sub, we'd probably have stopped them, but thank the nomads that didn't happen, huh? And Malcolm, who's if you remember, the animal ops and demolitions teacher who taught Zed about animal ops and stuff, goes to the microphone and takes it away from Zani because Johnny's just going through it. Yeah. So here's the deal. We have an opportunity to take CINO out and end this war before it gets worse. Madison, who's the munitions expert that taught Lux how to be an assault trooper underwater, and notably, if you remember, also slept with Lux, presses a button and it broadcasts a slideshow onto the dome of the entire base so the whole room can see it. And Malcolm continues and says, this will be a 2-stage assault. First stage involves infiltrating a CINO base. No easy feat, as it's one of their biggest. An image of a facility appears on the screen. This is Titanic Base. CINO is using this base as one of its main operating structures in this war. As such, all our kidnapped friends are there, but it's also a major powerhouse in their war production pipeline. Destroying this base will cripple their efforts and force them to resign the fight. But a wounded wolf can still bite, so they say, so that leads us to stage 2. A diagram pans out and shows Earth's orbit, a space station lingering high above Titanic Base. This is Iceberg, a LEO operating base. Titanic has rockets it sends to Iceberg so that we can use it to infiltrate that base. Normally, we'd send our own, but Frank made sure all of our rocket bases were, well, And you see Johnny just like kick a subwoofer. It just kind of goes off. Iceberg is a main communication structure for CINO's military operations. We destroy that, or better yet, control it, and CINO will not only lose the war, but may even dissolve overnight. It would be a catastrophic loss on their end. With Titanic, we win the battle. With Iceberg, we sink the war. And then Mac says, we'll be handing out mission assignments soon. Mac, who's the boat instructor that taught Kip and Kells. However, we would like to announce one more thing before disbanding you. Prepare. Disbanding you to prepare. I get so tongue-tied when I'm nervous as all hell about to die on a suicide mission. I didn't say that. But we'd like to introduce our ace infiltration team. The lights dim, and the fog appears from the center of the stage, like its production value. A platform raises from the center to reveal 4 silhouettes. Suddenly, lights flash directly on these silhouettes, and a very famous figure stands in the center of the stage, surrounded by 3 other very capable-looking solos. The man in the center lifts a gun over his shoulder and walks over to the microphone as his trench coat billows behind him. That's right. Your boss managed to hire Morgan fucking Blackhand, who's ready to kick some CINO ass. And then the crowd actually cheers. Much like an E3 presentation, the lights go off and the crowd is left to disperse. Various explicitives of excitement and feelings of hype felt throughout the crowd. An intercom announcement from Madison chimes in, please go to your bunks. All info will be sent directly to your agents. You're left to disperse and do what you want. The attack will commence on February 6th in 3 days. So, things you can do at this... Oh, what's up?
Why'd I bring the drone? I thought it was going to go straight from here.
Why did you think the ocean war would be fought on land?
I didn't know it was going to be an ocean base. I thought we were going to some
This
building.
guy brought a tank to an ocean war. You got 3 days. You can retrofit it to be a submarine.
99% of the world is above the ocean because we broke the ocean. It's safe to assume.
So this is So let me get this straight. So this is an ocean base that has a way to communicate with a space station.
This, so you're talking about Titanic?
Yeah.
It's kind of like an ocean rig, so it's half underwater, half above water. And it has ways to not only communicate with the space station has ways to communicate with everything on Earth, but this base has platforms with rockets on it that will send supplies up to the space station. So it's the only way to get to the space station is from this base. That's why this base is so important to CINO, is because it's not only their land operations, but it's their space operations as well.
And I'm going to space?
You're going to go to space.
Obviously.
If you live long enough. We all get to Jeffrey Bezos into space.
Oh, good.
With that, there's, you're at the base. There's a couple of things that you can do if you need
Hey, I would
ideas.
like to do something first. Hey, I would like to do something. Well, hey, I would like to continue my action from before.
Would you like to go into private to do this, or do you want to?
No, I don't care. Listen, I can talk around things, Dave. I'm worried about you. Okay. No. What I would like to do is I want to try to find here's what I would like to do. I have 2 intel. I would like to spend one of those intel as like a general move we can do called reveal knowledge. I can reveal knowledge of opposition's plans, dispositions, environment, or, in this case, we can generously call this an opposition, what I'm trying to do. Describe how I discovered the information, spend intel. And I can get a +1 forward to exploit the opportunity offered by that information. Specifically, since this is I almost called it OSHA. It's not OSHA.
Close.
OTEC. Because this is an OTEC water-based facility, and we have been on at least one of those. Assuming it's generally laid out the same, and we had a lot of time on that ocean.
Yeah, you were there for like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily have a detailed layout in my brain of that place or this place. However, I'd like to think that I remembered at least a few main data access points.
Yeah. I want to say
I would know how to recognize them.
Yeah, I want to say that that's perfectly acceptable. Like, yeah, you would have that kind of information. Wouldn't really even need to roll for it or anything.
Yeah. I want to try to be as discreet as possible, which I do believe is something such as racing against the clock, acting while in danger, or acting to avoid danger. Which is a move called act under pressure.
Oh, act under pressure. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to do that, and I have a move called War Correspondent, which is a little bit stretch, but when acting under pressure while in physical danger, I can roll edge instead of cool. Will that apply?
I want to say in this situation, I'm cool with it. It's a little bit more of an exaggeration, but like it's still. Yeah, I think it's like applies.
I physically do not want to be. I'm not doing like a feat of like wild strength or anything. I'm not going to blow up, but I do want to not be taken and seen. So because I used that intel and I'm exploiting the opportunity offered by that information, it gives me +1 forward to this roll.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, it's only a 6 though.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh no, you didn't do good.
I failed.
That's not good.
I failed. Oh, that's bad, actually.
So, I want to say you are, so you find a room that's kind of away from everybody. Let's make this even more entertaining. You find a room that's away from everybody, and you find it's this data terminal, and you get up there, you plug the thing in. Literally the second after it's plugged in, you get a text on your agent that says, "Thanks, part 1," and a thumbs up. And the door opens, and Micah's standing in the doorway. Because Micah seems kind of suspicious of that and kind of knows that there's something going on. So that's how you get caught.
Okay.
Micah, as long as you're cool with that. It just it seemed like the funniest way to do this. So...
I think I opened the door. I'm probably looking for wherever I'm staying. Is this like a bunk that she's in?
No. This is more like it's like a side room, but it's like a computer lab.
Okay.
Or an office, I guess. In this situation, I feel like it would be more like a logistics office where they'd like kind of keep track of the crops that they're growing down here, which I didn't really describe. We're all kind of dead. It's just kind of a dead room, but yeah.
I'm probably just making a call back home if I can from here. Like I'm in the middle of a phone call when I walk in and see Zed.
It's probably some sort of Wi-Fi network in here.
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, you're hacking into a data terminal. Or something. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing.
So I'd probably just say, yeah, so far, so... And I stop and see Zed just kind of like hunkered over some data terminal looking at me, presumably.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, no. I like to imagine that I'm I'm like looking at something, expecting some sort of anything to appear, and then it doesn't. But I hear you because you're not exactly quiet.
No. I was just looking for a private place to have my phone call.
Yeah, I'm just like looking at you.
Good. I gotta go. Call you later, love. And hang up. And I'll shut the door behind me.
Zed's, as you're doing that, Zed straightens up and pulls a USB drive out of the terminal and puts it in their pocket.
You missed the briefing, Zed.
Oh, you want to fill me in?
You first.
Told you, I have it taken care of.
Zed, on your heads-up display attached to the text that you got that said "Thanks, Part 1," a timer just starts. It's a timer that's good for like a week from now. After you do the math of how long it's going.
Gotcha.
What is it that you've got taken care of, Zed?
I think if I wanted to tell you that, I would have told you before.
I'm going to walk up to Zed, and I'm a big guy. I'm probably 6'2", 260, 70 pounds. I'm going to kind of tower over Zed a little bit, and I'll say, Zed, I think you need to tell me. Because it looks like you're putting all of us in more danger than we already are.
Micah, I'll be honest with you.
That's a start.
I have never once lied to you since knowing you, and we have known each other a decent amount of time.
Sure.
I do not and will not do anything that directly hurts you or anybody that you care about.
Directly, though?
Well, it's kind of like what Casper says. The world is an uncertain place. But if I say that I can handle something, I'm not lying.
Then why not ask us for help? Why hide it? If you're so trustworthy and capable and we're all here as a team, why hide it?
There's only one thing that's on my mind right now. And it's making sure that Beacon Apartments stays where it is with the people who are in it right now. And anything I do is to make sure that that continues to remain the future of that place. And if that means when I say I have this handled, you don't need to worry about it, that also implies you need to trust me enough to know that I'm going to make sure that Beacon Apartment stays the way that it is with the people who are inside it. Please.
All right, you say you got it, Zed.
Zed nods and goes to walk past your imposing figure unless you try to stop them.
No.
And they'll go, and they'll get the briefing from somebody else.
Oh, you're sitting in a briefing.
Yeah.
And I'll just continue my phone call after Zed walks out.
Oh, I want to say, I think both of you have a connection that says you get +1. I want to say throw it down to 0.
Oopsies.
Oopsie. That feels right to me. I don't know about.
Yeah, no, I'd say yeah.
A connection
is-
to each other?
Yeah.
So there's
Okay.
links down towards
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
bottom. Yeah. We have a 0 now.
Meanwhile.
Which is funny. I was looking at this and I see that I have a -1 with Lux.
Yeah. Although in theory, I guess it would be up to 1 and then back down to 0. but I think what happened might have been a negative one. It's funner that way.
I don't know. I would argue from my perspective, I'm choosing to trust Zed.
Okay.
Much as it harms me, Zed said what I wanted to hear, so
Let's put it this way. How about this then? Micah, yours doesn't change at all.
Okay.
Zed, you can decide if you want to put it down to 0 or keep it where it is. And don't tell anybody what you pick.
Okay.
I think it'll be funnier that
Okay.
way. So, okay, I see with the message about, yeah, that'll be fun. So as far as what's left to do, so basically we're just going to do stuff before the assault, and then I think we're going to wrap up for tonight. So as far as what you can do, you all get mission duties text on your agents if you have one. I forget who does and doesn't have one. I assumed all of you had one, but maybe you don't. But you can also check on equipment. There's a makeshift bar called The Last Resort. And yeah, that's it. And then you could do other things from there if you look into things. But we'll do Kells and Jason first because you all just had that cool scene, and we'll give them a chance.
Kells would like to try to find what equipment is here to try to make his motorcycle amphibious. Use that, give it that tag.
So here's what we could probably do with that, because you are kind of a mechanic. So is Micah. So you could probably get Micah's assistance with this. Yeah. As far as the equipment they have on base that they're willing to give your squad, which they're still calling Nautilus Team, by the way, because that's what you were when you worked for OTEC last time. But even though you're not defending Nautilus base, you're still Naughty Team. And the equipment they're willing to give you guys is there's one new scuba manhunter suit, which is the thing that Lux used to use. A mech suit, heavy gear, which is the thing Micah used. It's the same one too. And a sub that can fit the entire team. And then there's also a mini sub that fits 2 people. What you could probably do is retrofit the mini sub that fits 2 people to kind of be like this weird makeshift, like, hybrid of your motorcycle and a mini sub. Sure. It would make it so that it only fits 1 person then. But it would also make it so that you can do any of the adjustments that you did to your bike are now part of that sub.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would say that takes you, how many, did I say 3 days?
Yeah.
That would probably take you all 3 days, but that doesn't mean that you would just like stop playing the game right now. What you could do is like, whenever you take a break, you could decide to do some character stuff if you want. But as far as like the things that you're rolling on or whatever, I'll say that that's what you get. And that's kind of fun. And yeah, Micah occasionally jump in on that too. Yeah, okay, so they managed to like cart your bike and everything down to the ocean floor so that you can kind of get it like set up like that. There's kind of like a corner of the dome that isn't supposed to be used for this, but it is now. That they have like all sorts of stuff that's being kind of like retrofit and upgraded as much as it can be with the supplies they have on hand. And that's what you're doing. Jason, what would you like to do?
I'd probably go to either some sort of command center or like a research area and see like what I can do to help either break into something or research something before we actually start.
So there's 2 things that you can do that are very easy that I wouldn't have you roll for. If you want to do more rolls after that, that's cool. The 2 things that you can easily do are check mission duties of the teams, your team and other teams. You can also check the statuses of people who are working for OTEC that are now, remember they said they kidnapped some of their friends. You can see the statuses of people that you might know and what their status is.
I'm going to check the statuses.
Okay, so as far as people you've heard the names of or are around, you check on DV, Nora, and Scott, who are the rival sub-crew in training against Kip and Kells and Micah. Scott was killed in action. Nora and DV are captured at Titanic Base. Gavin Capelli, who's Zed's friend from training that used a shark as an animal agent, captured at Titanic Base. Chuck Strong, who is Lux's rival in the weaponry training, is no longer working for OTEC, so unknown status. the most interesting name that pops up, Lux, captured at Titanic Base.
Uh-oh.
All right, and then I'll look at the duties.
The duties. So Nautilus team says Nautilus team leader Zed Baptic, top priority securing POWs.
I'm the leader?
What?
They put me in charge? Great.
You think they'd vote for me?
Would you like to look at any other teams?
Yeah. I want to look at Morgan Blackhand's duties.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show you a picture of what it looks like. It's gonna be in the Discord.
Is it? Don't promise things. Lol.
For those who can't see it, yeah, it says team leader Morgan Blackhand, top priority, everything's redacted. If you want, here, I could send you this too, only because I don't know if you'd ask for it. This is Johnny Neptune's team.
Oh, alright.
It's called CINO Operation Patrol or something. I can't remember, but it comes out to COP team. For those who can't see it, it says team leader Johnny Neptune, top priority, also redacted, but then it also says assisting Alpha team.
We're doing great. It's really good here.
Alpha, oh, I didn't leave it in here. Alpha team is Morgan Blackhand's team.
I assume. Is Casper on our team for this?
Yeah, as far as Nautilus team is concerned, it's everyone here and Casper.
Okay. Otherwise, I was going to look that up. Actually, can I look up a profile on Casper?
Yeah, I mean, nothing surprising stands out. Works for, owns and operates Rockwell PMC, currently contracted by Militech, who's currently contracted by OTEC, and blah, 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 all that stuff. Nothing really, like, surprises you. Yeah, I would say as a purely professional profile that he has on hand here, it all seems very corporate and professional, and nothing is shocking, and it all makes him look really good. So now, if you'd like, you could roll for stuff if you feel like it.
Can I try to hack info systems on the CINO base from here?
On CINO base?
Yeah.
You do know where it is. You might be able to get generic information from CINO. Hacking any deeper would probably require you to be on site, so it's not like you can wreck their defenses, but you might be able to know what their defenses are, so you can wreck them in the future, like a hold or something. Yeah, you could do that if you want to roll for it.
I'll do that. It's research.
Yeah, research sounds right. Research. Getting a lot of research roll tonight.
Oh yeah.
Obtained. What would you like to know? You get 2 questions. They don't have to be worded as the questions on this sheet. Those are just good starters if you can't think of one. But like, if you have like a specific question you want to ask, you could go for it. I'm cool with that.
Well, I mean, since we brought it up, I want to know what kind of defenses they have.
You learn that as far as their defenses go, they are mainly inside the base, so terrestrial, I guess you can say. So what that does mean is they do have a contingent of operatives that are under the water too. You recognize a few of the names that are part of that team. A little team called Kraken Team. Coldstream, Saul Discard, Rich Willens, Junkers, Vibram, and Hammer. And if somebody could let me know if any of them died, I would love that, because I'm
Those
pretty
were the
sure...
opposition team, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
we killed most. I'm pretty sure most of them did, in fact,
You definitely
die.
No, you definitely killed one of them. The rest of them, I believe, got away or super wounded. You definitely killed the Netrunner. He's for sure dead. His head exploded.
Yeah.
But I know Junkers, you ripped his arm off. So he has a bone to pick with Micah.
There was at least 2 that were left alive, and they were like tied up and thrown into a room.
Those were, I think those were no-name assault guys.
Oh, were those?
They weren't
people?
part of the Kraken team. Yeah, they were just like guys.
The only things that I have written down are attacked by actual professionals and hammerhead with guns. So
yeah.
I'm no help.
That was Junkers.
I kept track of important things.
Oh wait, no, that's not Junkers. Who has the?
No, it's literally a hammerhead shark
there it is.
with guns.
Vibram has an animal agent that's a hammerhead shark and uses heavy evolutions.
Who knows if it actually is still.
You know who doesn't have a hammerhead shark as an animal agent? Hammer. That's stupid. But yeah, the medtech might also be dead. But it just lists Kraken team. It's fine if it's outdated information because they didn't have the time to update who died. I'm gonna say in universe, it's totally cool if I accidentally listed like 1 or 2 people who are dead. So we're just gonna go with that.
It's fine, everyone. It's fine.
I'll just figure out next episode.
It's been 2 years, but 2 weeks.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
It's been a long 2 weeks.
And yeah. Follow-up, can I download a map of the base?
Yes. So the thing is, you can get that for free. Because again, this is not like a military base. It's supposed to be just for research and development. So now, who's to say if that map is still accurate? But that's the one that they put out for everyone, and they don't. Due to how makeshift all this is, they're not necessarily going to update on the internet how they've defended it. So it's just like, yeah, because like when you build a fort to defend against zombies, you don't exactly then go and draw a map of that fort and then upload it to the internet so everyone can find out. It's spur of the moment. It's defended somehow. This is the layout, though. I want to say that gives you a hold.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because you got a map. You would know at least where they're going and stuff. You would probably at least know some general ideas of where they might be keeping POWs. But that gives you still one more question that you can have. Because that second one you asked was free, so. Wait, did you ask about CINO defenses?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, it's fine. You got your answer. Shut up.
One of my directives, if I caused something to be caught by me looking, I get experience.
Nice. No, you didn't.
Okay.
Oh, but you did get experience then for Casper when you tried to look for his location.
Sort of. It has to be related to a mission, unless you're giving that to me.
Nah. That's experience is kind of a big thing in this, so I want to say if it's got to be related to a mission, that seems like it should be related to it. Especially because nothing really that bad happened. It just Casper didn't like it. And just let you know that he knows that you could do that. So
it's if it draws unwanted attention to the mission.
Yeah, no, then that didn't do that for sure.
Okay. Then okay. Yeah, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, you still have one more question then.
See, can I see what's the most valuable thing for that other station that I can find?
The most valuable thing? As valuable in what regard?
Just what they think is the most valuable, or that what they've put out is the most valuable for.
I'm going to give you that one for free too, because I would say that is the rocket launching pad so that they can get to Iceberg. That's like the whole point on why they decided to use that base specifically for what they're doing right now. Is because if Iceberg fell into the wrong hands, that would ruin CINO. Okay. But yeah, you knew that from briefing and from all the other stuff you looked into, so I'm going to say that's also free.
Trying to find something hidden.
Find something. Do it.
I
can give you one if you just want. something.
Yeah, just
Well, okay. I got two options for you. One, you can look into other defenses that might be at the base, or you might be able to look into what Alpha Team's top priority is. That's technically dangerous to look into because that's spying on your allies, but the other one is technically helpful to your mission as well.
no, I'll look at what Alpha Team's doing.
Okay. I want to say, before you do that, give me a... where is it? Act under pressure roll, which is you got to roll cool. Be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool.
All right. Let's see.
9. That's pretty good if I know.
If I use an intel, does that add to a roll or no? What does intel do?
You would have to use it in some capacity.
Yeah, it's in. I posted it in the Discord, but it's revealing knowledge. So you can reveal your knowledge of the opposition's preparations, dispositions, or environment. Describe how you discovered the information. Spend an intel. You have to at least have intel to do it, and then it gives you a +1 forward. So you would add +1 to whatever you roll, but you have to explain why that.
Yeah, you just got to figure out how that works.
Yeah, why you would have it, why it's relevant. And
Let me give you the information, and then you can kind of fill in the gap on how you got there. So, what this says, Alpha Team leader Morgan Blackhand, top priority, taking out Frank Hiraga, destruction of CINO Titanic base operations, securing rockets to Iceberg base.
Okay.
And now, how did you get there? How'd you use some intel to get to that? I can give you a lead if you genuinely can't think of something.
Well, I was trained by the OTEC netrunner for skills and everything, so I used things I picked up from him to get through their own systems.
I like that. That's perfect. You knew the passwords 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what they never changed it from default. Okay, but yeah, that's Jason's thing. Would Zed or Micah like to do anything, or we can stop here for today and start? The next episode is going to be so much action.
Yes, good.
This is a lot of lead up, but it's so good.
I don't think Zed would do anything else specific other than just making sure to like go over the directives, the etc. Does Jason share about like those prisoners?
Let's put it this way. How about before we cut to the ending, did you all want to have a scene at the makeshift bar called The Last Resort?
Sure.
We all just meet up and have a beer together?
I think the only other thing Mike would want to do is once we know where the base is, he would want to get his drone somewhere on the coast that might have a shot at hitting it with a missile.
That's interesting. Yeah, I want to say you could do that, but not today. That would be like you do that the next day because you would have to drive it there, pop it down, and then come back and then set up some remote system to make it work or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to say that's not out of the realm of possibility. You just wouldn't be able to do it on this day.
That's fine. Anytime before the actual mission start.
Makes sense. I want to say this bar it kind of just looks like a tiki bar that's been just ramshackled together with just shit that's been lying around. And the drinks are, not professional and they aren't charging for them. It's literally just whatever stores of alcohol that they could find or people brought down or, some people like going back up to the surface, going to the nearest town, buying stuff and bringing it down and everything like that. But it's all just, there's a guy that's just having a blast serving drinks at the bar. And there's just people just kind of like getting smashed because they're like worried or they're trying to get hyped or they just want to celebrate because they are super huge fans of Morgan Blackhand or something. But yeah, that's just kind of the vibe of this place. He's not here. He's not at the bar. They didn't pay him enough to hang out with you all. But he's around. He's probably in briefing, or he might have gone back up to the surface to like just kind of hang out at the local hotel or something. But But yeah, that's the vibe. Casper's sitting at one of the like makeshift tables that just looks like it's the bottom of like one of those hay wheel things that's just been flipped over. Now everyone just kind of sits at one of them, and he waves you over.
Go over, sit.
How's it going, everyone? How you feeling? How you doing?
Well, I have to say that our accompaniment, Mr. Blackhand himself, is a bit reassuring.
Yes, I saw that. It's neat, cool, whatever, but it worries me because part of it feels to me as a corpo who knows what's at stake, which is my company and your guys' apartment, comes off to me as, well, it comes off to me as we have the money to spare on this, so we definitely have the money to do the threats that we want to enact on you.
Yeah, I suppose that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
But as far as getting out of this alive, I mean,
there is that.
Feels a little better.
I do like our chances, that's for sure.
What about do you like the chances of getting the prisoners out? You know, like our friend who used to live with us?
Oh, I was wondering what happened to her. I mean, yeah, we're on that. Right, leader? He looks over at Zed.
I wanted to say that completely unfiltered, not realizing that would affect anybody.
Yeah, the camera pans over to Zed, who is just like face goes like pale. You want to run that by me again, Jason?
Yeah, no, I saw the list of people captured. Lux is over there.
Well, all right. That's important. Personally.
Oh, I mean, I didn't know who had the list.
Apparently
well,
just you.
See, Casper just kind of starts nursing. Like, it's a tall beer, but he's like gingerly drinking.
Yes, sipping a beer.
Do you not want that? And I like reach for it.
No, you can. I could get you one. You want? Here, let me get the whole table. What will everybody have? And he just kind of. I'm not gonna make you make. Oh, do you want to make up drinks? Okay, I'm just gonna get. I'll just. They don't even have it anyway. So.
I want the Ocean Steve sarsaparilla.
Yes.
Ocean Steves. Yeah, it's got to get in there somewhere. It works here. Just a sarsaparilla? Ew. Well, wait, what's sarsaparilla again? I'm thinking syrup.
Sarsaparilla? It's like a root beer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not bad.
It's like a root beer, yeah.
That's definitely not what I was thinking. Yeah, Casper gets everybody drinks, so he's away from the table for now. There's a line. Point the line.
Okay. I'm sorry, that completely threw me off. What was your question, Casper?
He's getting beer.
Okay.
What do you want?
No.
No.
Zed's our team leader? Did I catch that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Was that not public knowledge either?
It's hard to know what's the net and what's real anymore.
I'd always assumed it was Rick, but I mean, if not Rick, said yeah.
Well, Zed seems to have our best interests at heart, so works for me.
Yeah. In the interest of getting everyone who lives in Beacon Apartment back to Beacon Apartment in the safest way possible. I don't think we should ignore the fact that Lux is currently captive in this facility. Not this, in that over there.
I mean, that works out, doesn't it? Like, that's our primary objective is free the captives.
Well, but that probably goes against you having a tank aimed at the facility, though, right?
Well, it's like an A-B situation.
Better to have it than not.
We have a tank.
You guys think it's weird when they captured her, they took her entire apartment with her? Like, how'd they get into the apartment while we were there?
So there is a chance that she took her stuff with her. I mean, I assume presumably above table that she's like the furniture and everything is still there, right?
Yeah, I want to say the furniture is still there. It's not like a completely vacant apartment or anything. The one can assume two things based on Lux's name being on that thing, just to kind of clear some air. One, she went on some mission and got caught. And so it's not like she was kidnapped straight from the apartment and they took all of her stuff too.
I know that. I'm making that as Jason being...
Makes sense, yeah. But yeah, no, I would say, yeah, that's probably how it happened or something, but...
Presumably, Jason. No, I don't think she was taken directly out of Beacon. You would have seen it. Right?
If I wasn't, in my rig.
If you weren't jacking in all the time. Just sitting in your room jacking in.
This guy.
24/7 jacking it.
I'm trying. Me, the player. I don't remember if there was actually a question asked of me and or Zed. I can't remember.
I think he just made a joke about you being the leader.
Okay,
if you're wondering what Casper did. Casper finally returns with the drinks, and he just goes, Jason, they didn't have whatever you asked for, so I got you a water. I hope that's okay.
The stuff that's outside?
Drinkable. It's good. You should try it sometime.
Yeah, I guess. I don't like the sugar-free stuff.
You just, when you're checked in, you have Mountain Dew surging directly into your veins. Otherwise, you get lost in the slipstream. You gotta have your Mountain Dew lube you
That's
up.
your coolant.
Yeah.
Sort of water cooled.
Well, if nobody has anything else, I guess we'll just have a good night and prepare for 3 days and hope that all goes well. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Getting out of this mess.
Okay.
Getting out of this mess. And Zed will cheers.
To being a homeowner.
Rick.
For Rick, we cut to Rick. Rick is in like the desert for some reason, and there's like some guy that's like, "Hey, who are you? Who are you? Get out of here! Who are you?" And Rick turns to this person, and in perfect English just goes, "I'm Rick McGillicuddy." And that's where we'll end tonight. I don't know if that was a fever dream or what that was. That was weird. But that is Rick's apparently canonical last name that Tom wrote in his sprawl sheet. And I was like, I don't remember you doing that, but that's amazing. But with that, yeah, we'll end for tonight. So we'll save the assault and all the action for the next session. And that'll probably actually be the ending of the chapter and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Imagine. This campaign's been going on for 2 years.
It's been going on
3
for
years, actually.
1 year if you don't count the 2-year break.
That's it.
Darn those pesky schedules. Hopefully it won't be that hard to get to the ending and stuff. But with that...
Darn the person who decided to, have a baby.
It was me all along.
It was you the whole time. Definitely only you.
With that, we could go around, say favorite things, and introduce ourselves, and we'll go from there. So who wants to go first? I'll just toss it up, and I'm just going to walk away from it and wait for it to land.
I'm going to push everyone out of the way, watch it fall to the ground, and pick it up. Hello, hi. It's me, Maria. I played Zed. It was weird. It's strange to be back into a character I haven't played for multiple years.
You even brought the accent back correctly.
I remembered it because it was one of 2 accents I couldn't do very well based on my geographical location. I can be found everywhere, again, at Happy Capster, doing various things, such as streaming mostly. But, favorite... Oh goodness. A favorite. I really liked the mundaneness of all of us standing outside with tacos in our hands and then just Rick shenanigans happening in like the background of our conversation was just very silly.
It's honestly the part of Cyberpunk that I like the most is the parts where we just get to act like people hanging out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I don't hang out with you all in real life or something, but I just enjoy it a lot.
Hey, whose fault is that?
It's
so
because
one of
we
us
all live.
is
It's America's fault. We live in different states.
It's the public transit's fault to get us good trains.
It's CINO's fault. But yeah, no, that's my favorite part of this is just having a world to kind of live in occasionally. Yeah, go ahead and toss it to whoever.
Oh, I'll just kick it around and somebody can pick it up.
I'll trip over it and then grab it. I'm Jason playing Jason. Can be found as Decudler on most places, and outside of this, I only know what work is. So this was nice to get away and do this now. Favorite part could be I mean Rick is always my favorite part, but some new fun moments with Casper as well.
Yeah, I'm enjoyed.
And then I'll throw it to James.
I'll catch it a little stunned.
Have I not mentioned that this whole time it's a dead raccoon? That we
That's why I was so surprised when I finally came around to me.
We never really specified what it was, and I just wanted to specify that it's a dead raccoon.
I'm James. I played Micah. You can find me on the internet if you try hard enough, but I'm not going to help. My favorite part, I had one a second ago, was reminiscing about all of the adventures we had.
I was about to say, I felt like we had like a 30-minute recap where we were just like, oh, that part was fun.
I don't know. It is good to be back. It's fun, and I agree. I think there was something nice about just starting out with, we're all eating tacos outside of this apartment because we're really normal people who, when push comes to shove, we're unusually good at violence, but otherwise we just want to eat tacos and sleep in our own bed.
I do like to imagine that whole recap session, as much as it was just us out of character, was just the characters recalling the last year of events.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, do you remember when we got stabbed on that rooftop by that
Yeah.
That was fun.
Weren't there ninjas in our house at one point?
Yeah, just one. And then a bunch of other guys, but yeah. We'll throw it to Ty.
And I'll accidentally kick the ball over the neighbor's fence, and we're going to get it back. I am Ty. I play Kells. My favorite moment was me and Micah like not taking the gyrocopter, driving our stuff there, and going like, "Oh, it's in water."
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Finally, that leaves me, Dave, the MC tonight, and I don't really have any social media you can find anymore, but I kind of just update YouTube community if you ever want to know anything about me.
Dave can no longer be perceived.
Yeah, I just gave up on all of it.
What a dream.
Yeah, jeez. Shush. But my favorite part, it's again, I did like the secret scene with Zed. That was fun, and also making Maria squirm. Yeah. So that's always fun. And yeah, with that, we're the Mythos Mystery Society, brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies, get in the car, punk!